Well, the rain has somewhat went away. It's still kind of coming down, but at least we can play football. The lightning is gone here at War Memorial Stadium, and it's time for the 8-man championship game between Spring Hill and Rector. Live from War Memorial Stadium, I'm RJ Hawk along with Bobby Swafford. And Bobby, boy, we've got a good one tonight in 8-man action. And real quick, we'll get to the rules here in a minute. A little bit different of a game. It's still football. I mean, for anybody watching, the field is condensed a little bit, but boy, they've got some great players on both sides. We'll start with Spring Hill first, and they've got an electric running back that is just a do-it-all guy. He's a guy that's amassed over 1,300 yards. Talking about TJ Tipton.
In 8-man football, you don't throw it nearly as much as you do in 11-man in the larger classification. But you're exactly right. 1,300 yards, 20 touchdowns. And one thing you're not going to see tonight is the kicking game. He's got 10 two-point conversions. So when he gets the ball in the end zone, he most of the time follows that up with a double dip.
Yeah, and then on the other side of the ball, you've got the Rector Cougars, who are 9-0 on the year, and they do everything with their quarterback, Drew Henderson.
Yeah, they don't necessarily throw it a ton. 2,000 yards rushing and 35 touchdowns for number one, Drew Henderson, who got a lot of experience in this game last year. He scored 4 touchdowns in the state championship game a year ago, but when they do decide to throw it, pretty effective. 20 of 27 passing, 450 yards, and 6 touchdowns.
Well, this is a Rector team, as you talked about, that is no stranger to the finals. Last year, they lost to Izard County, 36-26. They beat Izard County in the semifinal games this year, and that's the only game that they have trailed all year was in that game. It's the very first drive of the ball game. They were trailing Izard County, but let's look at that road to the finals real fast for both these two teams. And I tell you what, Bobby, and this is a much smaller, 8-man's a little bit smaller, but we'll first start with Spring Hill. They beat Brinkley 32-22, and then moving up the bracket, they took on Augusta, won that game 42-6, and then last week, this week, it's now Rector. But on the opposite side for Rector, this is a team that they've just demolished everybody throughout the bracket.
Yeah, and that wasn't a typo. You see Augusta won 1-0 over Strong because that was a forfeit victory, and that's what started this thing. But you see Rector, they get that win over Woodlawn, and they take on Izard County in the semifinals, and that was a big game for the Cougars. They needed that victory to get to this point, and so they kind of got over that mental hurdle. Now they're hoping to finish it off and win their first championship in school history.
Well, we're just about set and ready to go. Rector won the opening coin toss. They elected to defer. Now, let's go back to those rules real quick that we were talking about with 8-man football. So you see where the team in blue right now is Rector. And here's the 8-man rules. It's the third year of being sanctioned with the AAA. It's only a 40-wide field. So here's what I was talking about. See where Rector is standing right now on the field. We're just below the 50-yard line. The out-of-bounds line is at the bottom of the numbers on the near side. So they've condensed the field down. It's almost like arena football, but you're going 100 yards.
Yeah, it's still 40. It's 40 yards wide. So there were lines out there when we started.
There were, yes.
The rain has washed away the paint here at War Memorial Stadium, but you can see they've placed orange cones or orange discs at the bottom of the numbers to kind of indicate where the out-of-bounds is. And you think, oh, why are you doing that in a state championship game? A lot of schools use that because their high school field is a 100-yard field, or in a 53-yard wide field, and so they put the cones down so you don't have to paint, and that's obviously extra cost. And so that's one thing to pay attention to, because you're going to see the teams, it looks like they're standing on the field, the players on the sideline, but that's actually out of bounds. Remember, the bottom of the numbers is what the officials are looking for.
Well, we're just about set and ready to go for this 8-man championship game. Today's weather forecast for this one, it is a cold night. It's been a cold, rainy day pretty much all day long, but going to be about 47 degrees, thunderstorms, and we're going to have off and on showers throughout the night tonight. As you can see right there, we're already at the 8 o'clock, and it's raining, but it's a light rain here at War Memorial Stadium. So the kickoff is an onside kick that is taken by Spring Hill at the 49-yard line. That's where they're going to have it 1st and 10.
That's the first key right now is like ball security. It's been raining all day. The field is not nearly as wet as it was just a little bit ago, but how do you handle the football? Now you handle the onside kick to start things off. And now we're going to take a look at the Spring Hill team, 9-3 on the season with Coach Greg Smith. We're going to see what kind of offensive attack they can put together. Most people think that they're probably the underdog in this contest. Starting fast is going to be key for the Bears.
Well, this is a Spring Hill team that is averaging 28 points a game. They are giving up only 12 points a game, and they come out of that wing T set as they're going to just hand it off. He'll work left side, and that's the running back, TJ Tipton, who's able to take it on the left side, is able to pick up about 4 yards.
How do you handle the wet conditions is a whole lot more than just handling the football. How do you tackle in these wet conditions? That was the first play of the game. Give it about 10 plays, every player on the sideline is going to be soaked.
Well,
how do you grab the jersey? How do you get the ball carrier on the ground?
And you remember when we did the hit at 7 o'clock, it looked like a pond out there. I mean, it was water was standing on the field. This field is drained extremely nice here at War Memorial Stadium. Tipton's going to take another handoff, and he's off to the races. Out past the 30, still on his feet, rumbling, stumbling, and walking into the end zone for the first touchdown of the ball game. TJ Tipton takes it in for Spring Hill, and they get the scoring going early in this one.
47-yard rumble right up the middle, and it's just a trap play right up the middle. They hand it to him. He breaks the tackle, and all he is one-on-one with the defensive back. And well, Spring Hill will take that matchup every time. The stiff arm, he's into the end zone, and exactly how Spring Hill wanted to start this contest.
TJ Tipton is a big kid. You look at him, they don't have heights and weights on the roster, but he's pushing every bit of 2 bills, and just a strong kid as he rolled his way into the end zone.
Now they're going to roll for the 2-point conversion. Again, Tipton's converted on 10 of these this season.
Just underway here in the first quarter. Spring Hill's on the board first. They're going to give it to Tipton. No, it's an end around on that left side. And coming up with it for Spring Hill, it was Zane Minton who's able to take it in for the 2-point conversion. And just like that, 11:27 left here in the first quarter. And Spring Hill leads it 8-0.
So they fake it to Tipton right up the middle, kind of a gadget play, just a little reverse, and that's a 5th converted 2-point conversion of the year for Minton. And Spring Hill, maybe they're the underdog, the 3 seed from the South Conference. They strike first. They've got an 8-0 lead. But as we found out a couple years ago, it was 66-60 in an overtime or double overtime. A lead in this contest means nothing.
It means absolutely nothing. And you're looking right here. Look at the kicker for Spring Hill. Got the blue. That is actually the AAA logo that is in the middle of the field, that he's got the blue on him. And that is Carson Moore, the kicker for Spring Hill, as he slid across that blue ink. And once again, the AAA logo is also washable. And so that's why you're seeing some of that ink come off.
They'll touch that up before tomorrow's game.
And here's the kickoff, another onside kick. It's going to be falling on at the 49-yard line. And so that's where Rector's going to have it 1st and 10 for their first possession of the ball game.
So, I mean, a track meet is really the only way you can call an 8-man football game. If you haven't watched this style of football before, it is up and down. They don't throw the football a ton either side. It's just run, run, run. It's just that hammer against the anvil and see which one breaks first.
Now, this is a very productive Rector Cougar offense. This is a team averaging 45 points a game. And the one thing about Rector is Drew Henderson, the quarterback. He did not even take over this offense until week 3 of the football season. Since that time that he has taken over, this team has averaged 52 points a game.
They've been racking up the yards, racking up the points. You're talking about an offense that averages nearly 400 yards per contest, nearly 50 points per contest. I mean, they can score. They can score in bunches. I believe we had an equipment malfunction, but now we're all ready to play.
Rector with the football. Drew Henderson, the quarterback. The quarterback that does everything for this offense. He's going to fumble it on the first snap and is under pressure as he'll take a big loss. And that Spring Hill defense comes in and swarms for a massive loss to start the first play for Rector.
Yeah, the aforementioned kicker, Carson Moore, one of the first guys in there. It's his 27th stop of the season, and just handling the wet football, not going Rector's way on the first snap from offense.
You know, what's crazy is that Ashton Scott, the backup quarterback for Rector, he's actually committed to play football at Lyon College, but he's committed himself to playing more defense now that he's not the quarterback for this Rector team. Another bad snap, and the Rector's going backwards as Henderson is going to get bottled up and dropped just outside the 25-yard line. Another big loss for Rector.
Yeah, Caden Avery couldn't handle the snap. Henderson couldn't handle it on the first one. You're going the absolute wrong direction. After you recover the onside kick, you get the ball at your own 49-yard line, and you're going the wrong direction. They've lost 21 yards on the last 2 plays.
I'll say this, Bobby. We started the ball game, and it was not raining all that hard, but the rain is really coming down now here at War Memorial Stadium. So now you've got a 3rd down and 30 from the 28-yard line. Henderson calls for it out of the shotgun. They're going to hand it off to the running back, Avery. Avery, right side. He'll be taken down, does not get near enough. And so that's going to bring up a 4th down as they take it out past the 35 to the 36-yard line.
Only attempted 27 passes this season has Rector, so they're not exactly going to open up the playbook at this point. I think you've got to just take your chances with the punt here on 4th and 20, 4th and 21, and try to play the field position game.
So the punting unit is on for Rector. Bad snap, and it's going to be picked up, and it's going to go for a scoop and score. That time, once again, it was Tipton who was able to pick it up and rumble into the end zone for his second touchdown of the ball game. And Bobby, I will say this, that the weather has got to be playing a factor on snapping this football.
Yeah, there's no question about it. Rector's really struggling handling the wet football. The snap wasn't great, but it also could have been handled there. It should have been handled. And Tipton picks it up, and Johnny on the spot. It's 14-0, just 2.5 minutes into this contest, and Spring Hill looking to add to that lead.
So it's now 14-0 Spring Hill, and they've had one offensive possession so far, and they're going to attempt a 2-point conversion. 9:33 to play here in the first quarter, as Jackson Smith going to hand it off, and that time it was it Tipton again? I believe so. He took it in for the second 2-point conversion of the ball game. It's 16-0. Spring Hill leads with 9:33 left here in the first quarter. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
We all know the best ways to take care of our teeth, like brushing twice a day and flossing once a day. But there's another small thing you can do that protects your teeth in a big way. If you or your child is involved in contact sports, wearing a mouth guard is important to protect teeth. Mouth guards cover teeth and gums to prevent and reduce injury to teeth, lips, and gums. There are several varieties of mouth guards, so you can find one that is affordable and easy to use. A mouth guard should fit properly, be durable and easy to clean, and not restrict speech or breathing. Talk with your dentist about which mouth guard is best for you or your child's needs. At Delta Dental of Arkansas, we're proud to be the champions of your smile. For more helpful oral health tips and information, visit www.deltadentalar.com.
The commitment it takes to be a winner on the field is the same as the commitment Centennial shows its customers. Patience, perseverance, commitment, and resilience are key ingredients for success, both on and off the field. Whether you're cheering on your home team or needing encouragement starting a new business, let Centennial Bank help you make plans for your future. Centennial, for all of life's moments. Member FDIC.
On what matters. That's why we've made our hamburgers square. When you want to experience the delicious taste of Wendy's hamburgers, square's the beef.
Well, 9:33 to play here in the first quarter, and Spring Hill leads at 16-0 over Rector. Spring Hill comes in 9-3 on the year, as the kickoff is going to sail past the 20 and be picked up at the 18, bringing it up now past the 20, and he'll be stopped right there. As bringing it up for Rector, it was Caden Avery, and Avery will take it to the 26-yard line, and that's where Rector will have it 1st and 10 with 9:25 left here in the first quarter. And Bobby, you and I were talking in the break, a little shocked that Spring Hill's got all the momentum here in the early going of this one.
Yeah, Rector's got to settle in. 3 of their 4 plays, including the punt, mishandled snap, and that's why they've got negative 25 yards. They're going in the wrong direction. They just have to settle in. Get one clean snap, get one clean offensive play, get ahead of the chains, and start to settle in.
Here's the snap. It'll be taken by Henderson, and he just doesn't have a whole lot of room. He did fall forward, though, and was able to get about 5 yards out of the play to bring up a 2nd down.
You don't think of 3 players taking up that much space, but there's just so much open field where it looks like it's a no game, but it's a 5-yard pickup. Because more times than not, of course, there's different ways of playing 8-man football, but the traditional way is you just take out the 2 guards, you take out a receiver, and you essentially play your normal offense. But you're starting to see there's just not as many bodies in the box, and that's why the short games still pick up 4 or 5.
2nd down and 5 with the ball at the 30. They're going to fumble it once again, and Drew Henderson was able to get back on it. He laid a big blow before he jumped on it. If you watch this replay here in just a second, watch this. So he fumbled the ball, and he said, well, nobody else is going to get to it. I'm going to lay a hit and then jump back onto it.
That was supposed to be a direct snap to the running back with the quarterback serving as the lead blocker, and just didn't secure the play, and both players just kind of didn't know what to do, but really lucky for Rector. They were able to jump on the loose ball and prevent another turnover.
So it's 3rd down and 11. Drew Henderson in the shotgun. Going to keep it himself as Henderson will take it out past the 30, and he'll be very near a first down. Going to be about a yard shy of the first, and that'll bring up 4th down.
A really nice block there by 75 in blue. Gage Thompson pulls around, picks himself a pancake, and puts Rector into 4th and manageable, and is likely going to go for it here, the short down.
Boy, this is a big, you know, you hate to say it early in the game, but this is a big 4th down for Rector, as they're going to line in a bunch set, and Henderson's going to easily get the first down as he crosses the 35 and takes it to the 37-yard line.
You know, they pick up the first down there, RJ, but one thing to pay attention to is how Henderson's handling the snap. He's almost catching it with the body and the shoulder pad instead of catching with the hands like traditional. I wonder how much the conditions are affecting him, and if that continues to go on. And also he starts to play a little slower because he has to reposition the football.
Clock rolls at 7:21 left here in the first quarter. Out of the shotgun goes Henderson. Ball was rolled to him. He'll pick it up and gets a nice running lane. Stays on his feet out past the 50, and he'll be taken down right there. And the snap from the center, Bobby, is where the problem is. As that time the ball rolled to him, and he was able to pick it up and take it into Spring Hill territory.
Just haven't been able to get a clean exchange. Sometimes it's been the center snap. Sometimes it hasn't been handled well in the backfield, but nice job by Henderson. You can start to see why he's a 2,000-yard rusher. Once he gets the ball past that initial wave of defenders, he's dangerous.
Henderson set the school rushing record this year as he beat out John Ford Hendricks for that old record. As this time they're going to give it off to Caden Avery, and Avery will pick up a few yards on the play to bring up 2nd down.
Not only did he break that school rushing record, he's done it by more than 600 yards now, and that's only in 9 games. That's the kind of the funny thing with 8-man football. There's a lot of bye weeks, and maybe can't schedule everybody. Maybe a team doesn't have enough players to field for the game, and so Rector here in the championship game sitting at just 9-0, while Spring Hill has played 12 contests.
2nd down and 7 for Rector as they're in Spring Hill territory for the first time tonight. Henderson's going to keep it himself straight up the middle. He'll pick up a few yards on the play to bring up 3rd down.
It's a big play from Levin McGuire coming off the edge, number 4 for Spring Hill. That's a good look at him right there. He comes down the line and able to track down Henderson from behind.
Spring Hill has only given up 12 points a game. This defense has been really good for Spring Hill this year. You know, Rector, on the other hand, they're giving up 12, but this is an offense that is averaging 45 points a contest throughout this year.
We're just halfway home here in this first quarter. That 16-0 deficit, probably nothing that Rector is too worried about at this point.
It's 3rd down and 4 for Rector. Henderson going to keep it himself, and he'll get bottled up at the line of scrimmage. He stretches out to the 40 for a 1-yard gain. But either way, it's going to still stay 4th down and 3.
Really nice job by the Spring Hill defensive front there. They moved the offensive line back. They moved that line of scrimmage back to the Rector backfield. Didn't give Henderson any running lanes. And that brings up the 4th and 3.
Ball at the 40-yard line. Another big bunch set as they're going to try to get a push with Henderson. He'll take the snap straight up the middle, and he is not going to get it. As Spring Hill was ready, they stacked the box, and it's a turnover on downs as Spring Hill, they hold on 4th down.
It's a big stop from Spring Hill. It almost looked like they knew what was coming. They line up. They ran that exact play earlier in this possession, and they picked up the first down. They line up to 2 fullbacks essentially right behind the center on each cheek, and they just go straight ahead, and the Spring Hill just stuffs up the front of the offensive line, get the turnover on downs, and have a chance to add this already 2-score lead.
So it's 1st down and 10 now for Spring Hill at their own 40-yard line. Jackson Smith, the quarterback, is going to hand it off. This is to Tipton, and Tipton has nowhere to go. Got a yard on the play, and it brings up 2nd down.
And the defensive line now showing up for Rector. They know they need a big defensive stop here. 72 in the middle for the Cougars. Gabe Mosley the defensive tackle makes the big play.
You know, Spring Hill has never won a state championship, and in fact they played in the finals in 2020, and that was at the time when the 8-man championships were being played at home field. So remember that? And they actually lost that state championship game at their place in 2020.
A lot of those the seniors on this year's roster were freshmen. Some got some action in that game. Some had to watch it from the sidelines. Coach Greg Smith said it was valuable experience for his squad.
2nd down and 9 goes back to Tipton, and Tipton's going to fall forward for about a 2-yard gain to bring up 2nd down.
Again,
or 3rd down.
Again, Mosley right there makes another stop along with Jacob Mooneyhan. They combined to slow down Tipton. So the first 2 possessions, they didn't really have an answer for that Spring Hill trap. Back-to-back plays there, shut down by Big 72.
So now you've got 3rd down and 7 with the ball at the 43-yard line. You know, this is a Spring Hill team that they're no stranger to doing a little play action on you. They're a run-first offense, but they're not afraid to get a little play action and set up the passing game. As this time Jackson Smith going to look to throw. Throws downfield, and we've got a penalty flag down as his intended target that time was Carson Hamilton. And we'll see what the penalty flag is as it lays down at the 38-yard line.
You spoke that into existence. A little play action pass, and a little contact got there before the ball did. That should be defensive pass interference.
So they're going to get pass interference against Rector, and so that'll be a fresh set of downs for Spring Hill. And that time just undercut Hamilton as he was trying to go up for the pass.
Yeah, you like the aggressive play defensively, but you got to be disciplined, wait for the football to get there. That pass was not going to be caught either way, so it's a free 1st down for the Bears.
So back in Rector territory goes Spring Hill as it's 1st down and 10 at the Rector 42-yard line. Jackson Smith, the quarterback. So they're going to be under centers. He'll take it and goes option play to the right side to get it in the hands of Tipton. He'll take it inside the 40-yard line, and we do have, no, that's not a penalty flag. That is actually the cone that I saw. That was the out of bounds. I saw something on the field that looked like a yellow hanky, and it was actually the orange cone that is down there for the sidelines.
And Rector forces the quick pitch there. Grayson Bryant stays keyed to his assignment, gets the quick pitch, and the defense rallies around it to limit Tipton to just 3.
So that orange cone you see right there on your screen, that's the out of bounds line that is going down. We had a white painted line all the way down the field, but it got washed away by the rain earlier in the ball game. Here's a handoff to Tipton straight ahead as he takes it past the 35 down to the 34-yard line to bring up a 3rd down and very manageable for Spring Hill. Bobby, the running game for Spring Hill has been very dominant. Tipton is as advertised. A lot of times you'll see guys that have 1,000 yards, 1,300 yards in 8-man, and that's kind of common practice. But this 216 carry, 1,318 yard back is doing it all right now for Spring Hill.
Yeah, he's the straw that stirs the drink. There's no question about it.
Gives it to him again. He dives for the 30, picks up the 1st down.
I don't know if we've got a replay of right before the snap, but he explodes out of that low stance. Almost looks like he's moving too quickly. And he takes the handoff almost as soon as it touches his quarterback's hands, and he's got that momentum. It's going to be tough to slow him down, especially in short yardage situations.
So it's 1st down and 10 with the ball at the 30-yard line. We're down to 1:50 left here in the 1st quarter. Spring Hill with the football as they lead at 16-0. They're going to hand it to Tipton. He'll go left side, and he'll be taken down after a 3-yard gain. And really, if you're Spring Hill, Bobby, you don't have to get in any type of hurry because you've got a 16-point lead, and you just take time and waste away that clock as much as you can.
No, I was thinking that exact same thing. 4 yards for Spring Hill is going to be a win.
Yeah.
You'll take that every time as long as you've got possession with that 2-touchdown lead. You want to shorten the game. Rector's got an explosive offense. At some point, they're going to figure out the ball condition and start to move the football. So you want to limit the opportunities that they have. And more importantly, you got to try to add to that lead right here if you're Spring Hill.
And I hand it to Tipton. He gets hit right at the line of scrimmage, had nowhere to go. There were 3 Rector players right in the middle of it, and they read that play from the jump.
Great job from Mooneyhan, Mosley, Lamar, Dalton Lamar, 62 is also in there to gang tackle Tipton. And now this is the situation we're talking about. You want to be at 2nd and 6. Where you don't want to be is now 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 for Spring Hill. Now you're behind the chains for an offense that's only attempted 70 passes. Ground game's working, but you never want to put yourself in these long situations.
So it's 3rd down and 7 from the 27. Jackson Smith. Now we've got penalty flags as there was a false start. So now you go from a 3rd and 7 to a 3rd and 12.
That's exactly what you can't do if you're Spring Hill. The previous play and now the pre-snap penalty, those things will kill you, especially when you're a ground and pound team. But they may not have to snap the football here, and they may be content with taking this 16-0 lead into the break. And maybe shocking everybody who's watching this contest as Rector came in undefeated and really not even tested this season.
Well, coming into this ball game, Rector had only trailed 1 time. It was in the semifinals after the first play, and they have trailed the entire first quarter of the state championship game as Spring Hill leads it 16-0. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Looks like we have some new help in the marketing department.
Hi, I'm Susie Everett with Everett Buick GMC. I think you need to work on your line better. How about you do it? Family owned, customer friendly. Family owned, no friendly. Come see us at Everett Buick GMC, I-30 at Alcoa exit. Buckle up, everybody.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
Give your family a once-in-a-lifetime experience at the Little Rock Zoo, at Arkansas's largest lantern festival. Glow wild at the Little Rock Zoo. After dark, bring your family to a radiant wonderland where imagination sparks. Discover 40 new lighted mystical creatures and returning favorites at Glow Wild, a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
When you choose Conway Regional, you're choosing a healthcare partner rooted in your community. With 9 primary care locations in 5 counties, we believe in building lasting relationships centered on trust and personalized care. Let our family care for yours.
Vaping addicts you to nicotine and can prematurely age your lungs to those of a 70-year-old. Don't get lost in the fog. Learn more about the hazards of vaping at projectpreventar.org.
Southern Loft is a proud sponsor of Arkansas PBS. It is our mission to tell your story by adding color with our furniture. And that's why Southern Loft is a different kind of furniture store. For more information, go to mysouthernloft.com.
Cooperatives of Arkansas, throughout their 17 electric distribution cooperatives throughout the state, is proud to support, spotlight, and celebrates Arkansas student athletes and Arkansas PBS Sports. For more information, just go to aecc.com.
Well, I was looking at the first quarter numbers, and I think if you would have asked anybody, you wouldn't have expected Rector to only have 10 yards of total offense in the first quarter on 13 plays, but they do. And right now they're facing Spring Hill's taking a 3rd down and 11, and they're going to look to throw it as they swing it out right side, trying to get that first down, and they get it. Nice pass play that time as they were able to hook up with Zane Minton on the outside to pick up. Well, are they going to say he stepped out of bounds? They're going to say now he did get the first down at the 20-yard line.
Nice job by Minton. Uses a little hesitation to kind of slow the defender up. Is the team leading 9th catch this year at 123 yards coming into it. It looks like he was short of the line to gain there. It's so hard to tell without the line. You had to use the cone. Might have got away with a late hit there too if you're Rector, so it probably all cancels out.
How do you tell on a late hit when I mean, it makes it tough on those officials to figure out where the late hit is.
It's tough enough when the line's obvious.
So here's a keeper by Jackson Smith, and he has nowhere to go as he got back to the original line of scrimmage to bring up 2nd down and 10.
That's a big stop there for Rector. This is how you get back into the contest. If you're that Cougars in your defense, you've got to win on 1st down. You've got to win at the point of attack. And that's another great job. I've called his name, I feel like a dozen times already. Gabe Mosley is dominating the interior of that Spring Hill offensive line, and that's where they've got to continue to build off that success.
So it's 2nd down and 10 from the 20. Jackson Smith is going to be under center this time. He'll have a single back in the backfield, wing set off that left side. Gonna hand it to Tipton. No, they're gonna go with the pitch play, right side. Went with the option, and it was Minton who's able to get the 1st down as he takes it down to the 10.
And it looked like everything was clogged up in the middle, and all of a sudden the option just springs out to the outside. A nice pitch there, and again, a little juke there by Minton. Picks up a few extra yards, and now it's 1st and goal for the Bears.
It is a great job disguising the football, keeping it on your hip, and just pitching it out to Minton. Everybody on the defense was sold that it was going up the middle. I was sold it was up the middle, and they were able to get the 1st down.
When you run the trap so effectively like Spring Hill has up to this point, that makes it when you pull it, and that makes that option so much more effective.
It's 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. Jackson Smith goes pitch play left side, and going nowhere is Minton this time, as he'll lose yards on the play as they'll take it back to the 13-yard line.
And Carter Hill was not surprised about that misdirection play. Does a great job of keeping his contain, keeps the outside leverage, drops him for a loss of 3.
So it brings up 2nd down and goal now from the 13-yard line. 16-0, Spring Hill leads Rector as we're under 10 minutes to play here in the 1st half.
Spring Hill just continuing to churn up time.
Smith gonna fake the handoff, keeps it himself, has a running lane and gets it inside the 5 down to the 4. And boy, a really touchdown saving tackle that time by Rector. Is coming in was Charlie Bearden, who was able to get that tackle, and if he doesn't get him by the ankles, he goes in for the touchdown.
It's a big play right here. You got to know that this is automatically 4-down territory. If you're Spring Hill, you want to punch it, push that lead to 3 possessions. The Rector's got to come up with back-to-back plays here, because falling down more than 16 could be a death sentence.
And I said it was Charlie Bearden. It was actually Dalton Lamar who came up to make that stop. But either way, it's 3rd down and goal from the 4-yard line. They're going to hand it to Tipton. No, Jackson Smith's going to keep it, and he'll go straight up the middle and get it down to the 2.
Dalton Lamar's been everywhere. 62 in blue. Came into this contest 2nd on the team with 50 tackles, 4.5 sacks, but he has been all over the field making play after play for this Rector defense. But now it's 4th and goal from, looks like just inside the 2. Critical play for Rector coming up.
8:28 and counting. 4th down and goal from the 2. And now we've got a penalty flag that's going to come out from our head official. It's going to be too many men in the huddle, or illegal substitution against Spring Hill. B.J. Robinson is our head official tonight, as they're going to try to get all the correct players. Spring Hill's going to try to get all the correct players. By the way, we forgot to mention who our officiating crew was tonight. B.J. Robinson is the referee. Umpire is Mario Partman. Linesman is Jimmy Johnson. Line judge Nick Tanner. And back judge is Bobby Johnson. So it's 4th down and goal. Jackson Smith going to look to throw. Has a man in the end zone and overthrows him. He was wide open. As that time trying to hook up with Carson Hamilton. And it's going to be a turnover on downs as Rector avoided a big possible, extension of the lead. They if he doesn't overthrow him by just a foot, that's a touchdown.
Jackson Smith was kind of stuck. Do I run this? Do I throw it? The receiver was wide open. There's no question about that. But there was also no blue jerseys between him and the pylon. And so maybe a little bit of, I guess, indecisiveness, if you will, if you're the quarterback, as the throw just off the mark. And it's turnover on downs inside the 5.
Well, we will take a break with 8:06 left here in the second quarter as you're watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
For every moment, for every memory, from that first car to your first home to your first child and all the highs and lows that tomorrow might bring. For everything that matters most to you and your family, there's someone right around the corner dedicated to helping you protect what you love. Your local Farm Bureau insurance agent. Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
What's the best thing about a passport? Freedom. You know you can grab it and go someplace inspiring, someplace romantic, someplace unexpected. When you support your PBS station, you can enjoy PBS Passport, a member benefit that lets you stream great performances.
How dare you!
Masterpiece. All your favorites when and where you want them.
Oh my God.
Go online to make a qualifying contribution, and away you go.
The rain is really, it's still raining, but it's a light drizzle going on at War Memorial, and Rector's going to have the football as they trail 16-0. Maybe they can get a nice handle on the football on this drive, as for Rector, Henderson is going to run it straight up the middle and get it out past the 10-yard line.
At minimum, Rector's got to pick up a couple first downs to try to flip field position. Great job by their defense to force the turnover and downs inside the 10-yard line. But now you've got to be able to chew up a little clock, try to flip this field at minimum. But, of course, you wanted to end this drive in the end zone.
So it brings up a second down for Rector. Second down and 7 from the 11. Take the shotgun snap, and that time it was Caden Avery who took the direct snap and was able to pick up a couple yards on the play to bring up third down.
Yeah, it's the second or third time we've seen that direct snap where the quarterback Henderson serves as the lead blocker. Avery, capable himself, 753 yards, 5 touchdowns on the season. Also leads the team in receiving with 10 catches for over 200 more yards.
So it's third down and 5 now with the ball at the 13-yard line. Henderson fakes the handoff, going to look to throw. Throws it downfield, underthrows his intended target. He took a big hit in the backfield, and it's going to bring up a fourth down. Boy, the hit that Drew Henderson took in the backfield, it was one-on-one, and I think he took the worst end of it.
Ashton Scott was open on the corner route, the tight end kind of leaking out there, but the pass was underthrown, and you mentioned the defense bearing down on him, and now it's 4th and 5 inside your own 15. No decision to be made here for Rector as they drop back to punt.
And Spring Hill's going to quickly send a man back, and they're going to send Reese Tarver back there. Tarver's going to let it go. It'll take a Rector roll into Spring Hill territory down to the 45-yard line.
Give up an extra 10, maybe 12 yards in field position by not fielding that kick. But I agree with it. As wet as the football is going to be tonight and the conditions, why take extra risk of handling the football? Go ahead and let that one hit and roll. You're still going to have great field position. Take over at your own 45.
Are you a little bit shocked how good this Spring Hill defense has shut down Rector here in the first half?
I am. I mean, a lot of what Rector's done has been self-inflicted by not handling the snap. But you have to give a lot of credit to that defensive front for Spring Hill, because they're handling the quarterback run game of Henderson. They haven't allowed any big plays, only 16 yards up to this point for Rector. But you talk about the longest run of this contest, 6-7 yards for Rector. And that's a winning formula.
Here is Tipton with the football as he'll drag a man and take it to the 49-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup to bring up second down and 6. Clock is rolling at 6:13 and counting here in the 8-man championship game.
Tipped in over 70 yards already. Of course, 47 of that came back on the touchdown scamper. You see, the man that size isn't a scamper, it's more of a rumble.
It's a rumble and a stumble because he hits you, you're going to feel it. Gonna fake the handoff. The pitch goes right side. That's into the hands of their wide receiver / running back, and that is Zane Minton once again. And he'll take it to the 50-yard line to bring up 3rd down.
A nice job by Henderson getting out there on the pitch man. Going left and right, going east and west is not going to be a recipe for success if you're Spring Hill. The Rector defense has showed they've got the speed to keep up, running it right at them. So north and south, end zone to end zone is going to be where Spring Hill is going to have their most success. Of course, that fullback trap has a lot to do with that too.
3rd down and 5 from the 50. Jackson Smith under center. He's going to take the ball himself, take it past the 45, and Bobby, that might be the longest I've seen a quarterback hold on to the ball. He rode Tipton all the way into the C gap before he finally pulled it out and ran with him himself.
Yeah, they're kind of reminiscent of the old school Nebraska midline option. You just ride, you read that defensive end, you read the tackle, you find out, okay, you pull at the last minute and able to fight for that extra yard, picks up 6, and more importantly, a 1st down.
So it's 1st and 10 as they're in Rector territory now at the 44-yard line. Clock continuing to roll at 4:30 and counting. Smith going to keep it himself, and he'll get about a yard on the play. I think he was wanting to roll a little bit deeper that time, Bobby, but the lane got shut off, and so he had to cut it back upfield.
Yeah, Grayson Bryant, the defensive end there for Rector, set the edge and forced him to cut up before he wanted to allow time for the rest of that defense to kind of close. So again, 5, Bryant there. Not going to get credit with the tackle, but he's the one that made the play.
Under 4 minutes to play here in the first half as Spring Hill leads it 16-0. Looks like we might have an injury down on the field. Got him off on that Spring Hill sideline. Now here comes Jackson Smith. Now we've got whistles and a timeout charge to Spring Hill with bring up 2nd down.
The play clock was about to run out there. Didn't get the play call in from the sideline in time. But then again, as they continue to churn up the time of possession in this contest. Look at what Spring Hill's been able to do. It's just drive after drive after drive, and these two teams just haven't been able to take the same number of stats. 111 yards to just 16. And the time of possession is so one-sided. We're talking about more than 13 minutes compared to just 8.
Well, our all-star player of the game is Mitchell Hicks from Brinkley High School. He's a quarterback and defensive back. He's a senior this year and plans to attend an HBCU and complete a degree, and so he is our all-star Arkansas PBS Sports player of the game, and it's Mitchell Hicks from Brinkley High School. Well, Bobby, I will say this, that if your game plan was to come in and control clock like you were talking about with that time of possession, man, Spring Hill is been on that. They have done the game plan to a T in this one, and the defense has done exactly what they've done all year, and that's really limit the offense of the other team. And Rector has not gotten it past the 50-yard line but one time in this contest. Here's Minton as he'll go far side, and he has nowhere to go, and he'll lose yardage on the play.
And they try the toss out there. It's just too slow developing the play. And again, the Rector defense is there. Johnny on the spot actually almost did a nice job of hanging on to the football as Zane Minton almost lost the handle on it. Again, loses 5 yards, and now it's 3rd and long and puts the Bears way behind the chains.
At the 49-yard line. Clock rolling at 3:03 left here in the first half. Jackson Smith fakes a handoff, going to look to throw under pressure. Ball comes out, It's on the turf. Who's going to come up with it? It's going to be Spring Hill who came up with it, and just Jackson Smith was trying to just dump it off to somebody, and I believe the ball got deflected, knocked away, and as he's being spun. No, he actually threw it and it got hit at the same time.
He's trying to flip that back to his running back, Tipton. Just a ill-advised play, a dangerous play there by the sophomore quarterback. Lucky to get that one back, because that was almost the huge break and momentum swing that Rector really needs. You can see the idea. He can see his running back, Tipton's right there. Just flip it to him, maybe keep the play alive. That's something that he's going to learn when he gets a little more experience. But the sophomore's going to learn to eat that one. That could have been a huge disaster.
So now you've got 4th down and extremely long, as the ball is all the way back into Spring Hill territory at the 38-yard line. So the punting unit's on for Spring Hill, and back deep, Rector's going to put a man all the way at the 29. Punt is away. It is a low line drive. It's going to roll to the 28, be picked up right there from Rector, and they'll be able to save some yardage as they get it out past the 35 to the 37-yard line. And that's where Rector's going to have it 1st and 10 to try their second drive here in the second half.
Just 2:15 left on the clock. They've got to find a way to put something together in a hurry if you're Rector. A score right before the half would kind of ease some of those, I guess, stress marks, if you will, from those fans, because they're not feeling too comfortable about themselves right now, down 16.
1st and 10 for Rector, as they're going to take a running play straight up the middle. Nice running play that time by their quarterback, Drew Henderson. And he'll be able to pick up 5 yards to bring up 2nd down.
See if Rector decides to pick up the pace just a little bit, as now we're inside the 2-minute mark here in the second quarter.
2nd down and 5, under 2 to play. Henderson's going to work out the shotgun. Going to hand it off. Works back left side as he has it in the hands of Caden Avery. And Avery gets the 1st down and takes it to the 49-yard line.
Great job by Avery to get past the marker and makes another man miss, picks up a couple extra yards, and now the Rector offense can maybe start to get a little momentum going.
Working quickly. Now we've got whistles. And I didn't see a flag. Did you, Bobby?
Not.
I heard the whistle.
Rector tried to catch the Spring Hill defense in a substitution. They hurried to the line. I wonder if everyone got set. Let's see what the call is.
The officials are talking to the Rector coaching staff. I think they're talking, was it the clock? Well, the clock's at 1:36. Not real sure what the official's doing.
I don't understand what the stoppage is there, but we're ready to roll.
Well, got everything going again as they'll snap the ball, and Henderson has nowhere to go. He'll lose a yard on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 11.
A nice job by Alex Arriaga, the sophomore linebacker, number 20, and the rest of the Spring Hill defense kind of converges on him. They just haven't been able to get anything going as Rector takes the timeout.
You got to like the way, and you mentioned a minute ago about the defensive front for Spring Hill. They're just getting they're getting more of the push right now to get to the quarterback.
Yeah, a lot of hats around the football. They're not necessarily winning at the point of attack, but they're not losing it. And sometimes that's just good enough as a defense. You kind of hold things up on that offensive and defensive line, allow your linebackers, allow your safety space to get up there. Of course, you want to move that line of scrimmage back, but sometimes it still may be good enough for your linebackers.
Well, they are definitely getting a great push by that defense, and we want to thank AR Care for being a valuable sponsor for all these Arkansas PBS broadcasts. And tell you what, Bobby, we will thank them throughout the broadcast, but AR Care and many of the other ones that are helping that we will see throughout these championships. That's the reason why we're able to bring all these championships to folks across the state of Arkansas. Here's Henderson working it back left side. He'll pick up a couple yards in the play to bring up bring up a third down now.
Rector not hitting those big plays that they're so accustomed to seeing. You're talking about a quarterback who averages nearly 10 yards a carry, and it's been tough sledding throughout. Longest carry of the game for Rector up to this point, 16 yards. They're averaging 1.5 yards per attempt, and some of the fumbles have a lot to do with that.
Third down, pass play comes as they'll swing it left side to Caden Avery, and Avery is able to get a good chunk of yards as they'll keep the clock going, but he's short of the first down by 4 yards to bring up fourth down.
Now Rector's trying a little misdirection and a throwback screen, but Levin McGuire reads it perfectly for the Bears defense, able to limit that to a short gain, and now forces fourth down. You can see the clock still continues to move though, and now Rector going to take a timeout.
We'll talk this one over as it's 4th down and 4 with 22 seconds left here in the first half. Spring Hill leading at 16-0. Boy, Bobby, you think about, we talked about all the championship games that are coming up throughout the weekend. Boy, we've got some great matchups, including from this one here in the 8-man to the 2A games. I think the 2A games will be awesome between East Poinsett County and Bigelow. But then you got the 6A game, the 7A game, and the 5A game. We've got some really good matchups this weekend.
Yeah, whether you like small school football or the largest of the large, we've got it for you all weekend long. We're gonna have a lot of new champions. We've only got one team who has a chance to repeat, and that's Little Rock Parkview. I've got a few teams that were in the finals last year, maybe looking for redemption. But 4 of the 5 champions this weekend we know are going to be new compared to last year.
And don't forget, if you're watching, there's also semifinal games being played tomorrow night as the 3A and the 4A are still trying to figure out who's going to play here at War Memorial Stadium. So those games will be going on. We'll give you updates tomorrow night on how some of those semifinal games are going. Now we've got another whistle and a timeout, this time charged to Spring Hill, as they needed more time to talk about what was going to be done on this 4th down.
So Rector now out of timeout. Spring Hill has 1 left. Of course, if you're Spring Hill, you just don't want to get beat deep with Rector having 0 timeouts and just 22 seconds left here in the half. Keep everything in front of you because the clock's on your side with the lack of explosive plays.
So it's 4th down and 4 yards, and so there is I mean, this is big for Spring Hill because of the fact that if you get this and you post a shutout at halftime, that's big time.
The Arkansas Department of Health is proud to support, spotlight, and celebrate Arkansas student athletes and Arkansas PBS Sports. Escape the vape. Learn more about the hazards of vaping at projectprevents.org.
So it's 4th down and 4. See what play Rector draws up right here as Drew Henderson's going to work on the shotgun. Gonna fake the handoff, end around. Now they're going to look to throw again. Deep pass down the middle of the field. Has a man wide open, and he's going to be down at the 1-yard line. That time coming up with the reception for Rector. I believe it was Chance Lopez who came up with the reception. Clock is going to be stopped momentarily with 14 seconds left. They're going to roll it now. Rector, Drews Henderson, going to take it into the end zone. No signals yet, and they're going to say touchdown, but none of the officials put their hands in the air.
There it is.
There it goes.
Finally get the call for a touchdown. Get on the ball, of course, as soon as they set the change or set the marker and they mark it ready for play, that clock was going to run. There was 14 seconds left when the previous play was blown dead. So a nice shot, but here's a look at the deep pass, and Lopez gets behind the defense, caught the secondary, looking into the backfield on the trick play, and that goes for a big one and a huge momentum swing for Rector going into the half.
So they're going to put the ball in the middle. They put the ball initially on the far hash, and so now they're going to reposition the football into the middle of the field. 9 seconds remaining here in the first half. Henderson going to look to throw again. Works it left side, now going to run with it, dives for the end zone, touchdown, 2 points good.
This game feels very, very different than it did about 15 seconds ago, RJ.
Yeah, it does. And give it up to Rector, because the pass that time to Chance Lopez, the sophomore, by the way, and you saw in that replay where he bobbled the ball and almost didn't catch it, and he was able to pull it in and take it down to the 1. That was a big pitch and catch that time for Rector.
Yeah, Ashton Scotts threw it on the trick play, the old double pass or the reverse pass. And they needed something. They needed a shot in the arm, because even with that big 44-yard play, they've only got 79 yards of offense. So they needed something to go their way, and getting that right before the half, even though they're still down a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, it's a very different feel in this stadium.
Well, and let's not forget, Rector, they won the coin toss and elected to defer. So now that they've scored, they're going to have the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, a chance for the old double dip. Score right before the half, get the ball, and again, they can go from down 16-0 to this one being tied in a hurry.
Here's the squib kick that is going to roll out of bounds. And so it'll keep 9 seconds on the clock, and Spring Hill's going to have a play to try to get in the end zone.
Can't put this one in the half just yet with the kick out of bounds. Going to be really good field position for Spring Hill. Let's see if they want to try to take a shot down the field or be content with the 8-point advantage going into the intermission.
So it'll be 1st and 10. They're going to mark the ball down at the 37-yard line. Tight formation for Spring Hill. They're just going to take a knee and take it to the locker room. So we've ended one half of play where the Spring Hill Bears, they lead Rector by a score of 16-8 in the 8-man state championship game. Stick around for halftime. We've got a great halftime show for you as you're watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
1958 was a year of change in America. The Hope Diamond was donated to the Smithsonian Museum. The microchip was invented. NASA was created by President Dwight D. Eisenhower. And in Arkansas, deep in the recesses of War Memorial Stadium, a group of prominent Little Rock businessmen founded the Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame. The original mission of the Hall of Fame was simple enough:
to recognize and induct individuals and teams that have brought honor to the state of Arkansas, and we do provide scholarships for student athletes.
It's a great place for young people to get inspired, to come here themselves, to walk through and to read these stories and think, someday that can be me.
We inducted our first class in 1959. We have over 500 inductees.
Basketball players, football players, baseball players, archery or in sharpshooting, trap shooting, runners, golfers.
Horse racing, car racing.
It's a great cross-section of what sports is.
For more than 60 years, the Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame worked to honor those most accomplished athletes who call the natural state home.
Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame selection process is simple but a little complicated. You can go online and nominate your favorite sports hero.
That person goes into a master database. Selection committee comes up with those 50 people on the voting list for each category. That is mailed out to the dues-paying members. You pick your top 5. Those come back. The top 2 vote getters in the regular category automatically get in. The top vote getter from the senior category automatically gets in.
And then the board votes on the remaining inductees.
And then you wait for a call.
When you get the call, it's a big deal.
You know, when I was inducted to the Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame, or however, when I received the call, I feel like I've reached something.
Being from a small town, rural area, which Arkansas is a lot of that way, and when you get picked for something this prestigious, it has a huge impact on your life.
It seemed to me it was the cap of my athletic career.
It just seemed like all the hard work has paid off for me.
All the people you meet, all the connections you make.
They welcome you. It was remarkable to me the night that I came to be inducted, because the former inductees, they want you to feel like, hey, you're part of us now.
Clearly, sports in Arkansas isn't all fun and games.
Sports is a common ground that brings everybody together, and we compete. We want to see a good battle, but we want to shake hands afterwards, and there's a mutual respect for everyone that played.
Athletics teaches you discipline, it teaches you teamwork, it prepares you for life. It got me a full scholarship at the University of Central Arkansas.
Eventually, the Hall of Fame had grown to need a new home, and by early 2007, construction was complete on the almost 14,000 square foot Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame Museum, located in what is now Simmons Bank Arena in North Little Rock.
All the communities in the state have an opportunity to make sure their heroes are remembered, and they do that. You walk through this Hall of Fame, see a helmet from some small community hero, a smaller college maybe than the Razorbacks are.
Jerseys, pictures, statistics, all kinds of memorabilia.
Like a picture of Scottie Pippen standing next to a polar bear for some reason.
It's just like creating the milestones of the people who started and who laid the foundation.
Their favorite thing is always the Bears back there in the car, the Martin car, but they actually get to see how sports in Arkansas started.
Everybody, as they were growing up, had their favorite sports heroes. We preserve those sports heroes for the different generations.
They can look there and say, wow, this person overcame this. They came from maybe an impoverished background or maybe a beginning that wasn't necessarily headed towards sports but ended up there someday. We have a great sports legacy here. It's a great representation of what this state is about. Hardworking people who endured, who achieved, and so to have that legacy as in a permanent place here, I hope people embrace that and hope they come here and enjoy it.
Look at the Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame as motivation and say, hey, one day that's going to be me.
Now you know the history. You can be a part of the future of the Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame.
Just the way Wynn is, you know, it's called the city with a smile. Whether it's a Friday night football game, or it's a family in need that's going through a hard time, or it's a community going through a tornado, the people in Wynn rally around each other.
We have a serious situation, a new tornado warning in the city of Wynn. Wynn. You need to be in your tornado safe spot right now. There's possible.
I grew up here, graduated from here in 2000. A lot of memories here.
Wynn High School, there's a lot of tradition here.
I've been here my entire life. All my families went here. It's been very big.
The school year was going really normally. I was actually in the middle of like classes and stuff, not expecting anything to change.
Yo, we were excited because it kind of felt like it was the first year post-COVID.
It's my senior year. I want to play college football. I was in off season for football. I was playing soccer too.
And we were really excited. Things were going along. All the way up to March 31st. And the last thing in the world on our mind was having a tornado destroy our school and our kids yet again not having a normal year.
That radar is showing you the hook echo that just now went through Wynn. That is a debris ball just to the east of Wynn.
One of my maintenance guys called and he said, you got to get down here. He said, the school's gone. You know, the tragedies happen, you know, the storms hit. We had our moment of, you know, just breaking down. We can't stay in that moment. What do we do to help our community?
I got a call from one of my buddies and he told me the turf was in his front yard from the football field.
Right after I heard that the tornado hit the field and there's no football, and I'm thinking, okay, what's the next step? Like, what are we gonna do?
We were right out here on that field and there's debris everywhere. There's tile. It's the first time we really got to meet with the team. They got bulldozers behind there, bulldozing their school. You know, the kids look on their eyes is like, what kind of nightmare have I woke up to?
It was a surreal feeling, something I'll never forget.
We have to find a way to make sure our kids don't lose anything. They don't lose prom, they don't lose graduation.
Obviously, with the field being nothing but gravel, we went to a church field for spring football practice because we didn't have turf. We've been out on the grass. We just kind of made the most of what we had.
We could have easily sat back and just said, man, what do we do? But that's a testament to our leadership. It's a testament to our teachers, our students, to put in the extra work it took to get us to that point.
Once the temporary campus got done, it was an easier transition. It was more of like a normal school feeling.
They did a great job getting our facilities back.
I was in pads. It was an amazing feeling to get on turf. From the difference from turf to grass, it was an amazing feeling.
I always lived through the kids, and well, they were teared up. It was a big deal for sure.
Looking in that stands, seeing the Wynn community all back together, everybody that stayed through adversity, it was all a very come together moment.
It's an awesome community we live in here.
We're playing pretty good. So many fans packed out every game.
And it's just not that they show up when there's loss or when there's grief. They show up for everything. That's what they do in Whitehall. Our superintendent then brought him in. You'd think that someone that played in the NFL and a big star quarterback, he didn't come off like that at all. You could tell he was getting ready. He was ready to get to work, and he was excited to be the head football coach.
He just comes in and he introduces himself, and he immediately flashes this huge smile and cracks a joke, and it's his laugh. He always had this laugh. It was a working relationship, but then it turned into he was literally my best friend. Well, you knew who he was when he got here, but he didn't want that. He wanted to just be Ryan.
What he brought was a big heart for kids, a huge personality, just a simple, humble man is what I saw. He wanted to give back to kids and give back to the sport that he loved.
Coach Mallett always said Ben was the first football player that he met when he came. The house he rented was right across the street from Ben's house. He knew that Ben was going to be special. He said, man, I love that kid.
Please join me in a moment of silence as we remember Benjamin Riddick. Here to accept Benjamin's diploma is his mother.
I woke up that morning with some text messages and calls, and a couple of those calls were from Coach Mallett.
When Ben passed away, that's when I really found out how close they were because of how bad it wrecked him. It changed him. It really, really did.
I cared for him a lot. He was like my son, basically. It's tough.
When you lose a kid like that and know that he was going to go off and do great things, and that one hit me hard.
It's just sad seeing Coach Mallett react the way he did.
He went on the field and hugged everybody on the field and started crying and told us all that he loved us. We all used each other to kind of piggyback on, try to look to each other for comfort.
Everybody was there for each other. Mallett being the name that he was, fake media or whatever, posted stuff when we text the group chat, yo, is this real? I was like, there's no way. So I called him. I was like, there's no way it's true, let me call him. And he didn't pick up. I was like, wow, this is real.
I was in shock. I had just talked to him about an hour and a half before.
I just melted to the ground. The feelings and the emotions were so raw, you can't hardly describe it unless you're in that moment.
To be honest, it didn't seem that it could possibly be real. Our district had lost students. We had lost a coach that our kids adored. It was more than what we could handle as a district.
As a whole community, I think they came together to help us football players out. They had counselors from every school, even elementary schools there.
Knowing that they were there for us helped out a lot.
It's just the outpouring of affection and love that they show in this community for you. It was awesome. It was about what you expect from Whitehall. They were there.
Just that outpouring of love that was felt in not just our community, but surrounding communities in the state. Just was the love that was shown to us. It's healing.
And we as a community can get through this. We've gone through all these things, and every day we are moving forward.
The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
I remember stepping outside into the staircase and doing vocal scales, warming up my voice. The opportunity that was there, not only to win Miss America, but to win a $10,000 scholarship. As they peeled off the runner-ups, they left and the chair was taken away. And I was sitting there with Miss District of Columbia, my first runner-up, and there we sat. And so many people have said, what was it like when you heard your name called out? And it was like the flashback of all that many years of training and working and preparation and how proud I was to be representing Arkansas. I tear up when I say this. But it was just the greatest moment for my family and for my people. My people were Arkansas.
New documents are being digitized every day. And every day, the DNA databases get bigger. Sometimes the most moving revelations come from the paper trail. Sometimes some of the most shocking revelations come from DNA.
I think I found out a little bit too much.
That's what makes us special. The magical way that we combine genealogical research with genetic research. And we're the first program in the world to do that. Without your support, there would be no Finding Your Roots. And without your support, there would be no PBS.
Hi, I'm Jay Schwanke, the host of Life in Bloom. I want to thank viewers like you who make CREATE possible. Your gift goes a long way in keeping public television channels, including CREATE, on the air.
Nailed it.
Perfect. And if you're not a member, please consider supporting your local public television station today.
That's it?
That's it.
Easy. Easy peasy.
Thanks for watching.
Well, the second half just about set and ready to go. Both teams making their way onto the playing surface to get their final warm-ups as we get you set for the second half action, where Spring Hill leads 16-8 over Rector. Let's go ahead and take a look at those first half highlights. And you know what, Bobby, here in the first half, it was all Spring Hill in the first. And look at TJ Tipton, boy. He got a 47-yard run to start the scoring for Spring Hill, and then again got it once again. Well, here's that two-point conversion, but they got it going again with a 24-yard run by Tipton and really got everything going. It was turnovers early for Rector, and Spring Hill just capitalized.
Yeah, the start of the game, Rector they really weren't necessarily overwhelmed by the moment. They were overwhelmed by Mother Nature. They couldn't get a hold on the football. You saw the botch snap on the punt that was returned by Tipton for a touchdown. It's 16-0 before a lot of fans had even dried off the seat. And so, but now right before the half, though, there's the touchdown run by Henderson. The trick play that got him down the field, that's what led to the touchdown. That play right there gave life to the home team. That gave life to the fans of the closest side of the stadium to us. And that's why it's only a touchdown game as we're getting ready to start the second half.
Yeah, and so we'll see if this is a Rector team that has been throughout the first year. Because, I mean, coming into this game, I said it earlier in the first half, they only trailed one time the entire season, and that was in the semifinal game. And they have trailed this entire game and were pretty much shut out for the entire first half. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of life this Rector team has here in the second half. And they'll get the ball to start the half as they deferred after winning the coin toss.
The score right before the half, I don't know if I can say how important and how large that looms, because you mentioned they had trailed for the time of one possession, one drive all season long, and they were behind after the first 35 seconds of this contest after the big yard trap play for a touchdown. How do they handle it? They got to go into the locker room, get warm, get dried off a little bit. The rain has subsided quite a bit. It may still be coming down just a little bit. But how do they handle this opening drive of the second half? Because if they can mount a drive, put it in the end zone, and forget the two-point conversion, if they can get within two, the confidence level is going to shoot up on that sideline. The fans behind them are going to get even louder, and the undefeated team, the #1 seed coming into it, the favorite coming into this championship game, is going to have all the momentum. And now, how does Spring Hill have that little bit of adversity?
Bobby, let's give us some stats from that first half on total offense for both these two teams.
Yeah, it's all about TJ Tipton for Spring Hill. I mean, 73 yards on the ground. I mean, he led the charge. It wasn't nearly as much offense as you expect. I mean, we were talking about, we really thought this was going to be a track meet between these two 8-man squads. A couple years ago, the championship game was 66-60. Last year, there was a ton of points. But this year, both teams just 161 101 yards combined, 92 for Spring Hill. Rector, of course, lost 21 yards on that first possession because of back-to-back fumbles. They've been trying to dig out of that hole. Just haven't seen those big explosive plays you expect. We'll see if the second half changes that, though.
Well, Spring Hill going to be kicking off to start the second half, as we're just about set and ready to go for second half 8-man action, as the kickoff is going to sail over the head of the return man, and that is Caden Avery for Rector, as he'll bring it up the left side, gives a nice stiff arm, ball comes out, and Spring Hill is going to come up with it. They get the turnover to start the second half. Turnovers in the first half for Rector, and here to start the second half, it's turnovers once again.
It is going to be Spring Hill football. A little bit of a discussion to see if the player who recovered it had stepped out of bounds first. They say no, so Spring Hill talked about how important, RJ, that first drive was going to be for Rector. It doesn't even get started as Spring Hill forces the turnover on special teams, and now they get a short field, a chance to add to their lead.
Well, you go back to talking about how big that score was before the half, and it doesn't matter now that you turn the ball over here in the second half.
Yeah, so Spring Hill, which never really got a possession to answer after that long touchdown, as they took a knee on the one play that they ran after the touchdown. Now they've got great field position, a chance to get the offense going, and you got to believe that you're going to get a heavy dose of TJ Tipton right here, because they want to continue to start to work that clock like they did in the first half.
Rain is still coming down here at War Memorial Stadium, not near as heavy as what we've seen throughout this ball game. As Spring Hill, they're going to hand it off to Tipton, and the ball came out. Who's going to come up with it? Tipton got hit early and knocked the ball out, and they're going to say it's going to be Rector football.
Just didn't secure the edge on that far side, the right side of the offense. You can see it right here. Just comes in untouched. Does number 17. I believe that's Ashton Scott, who threw the trick play earlier for Rector. This comes unfree, unblocked off the edge, forces the fumble. And Rector avoids the disaster that was the fumble on the kickoff to start the second half.
Ashton Scott, who we talked about going to Lyon College to play college ball next year. As we've got whistles and penalty flags, and it's going to be offsides against Spring Hill. So a free 5 yards for Rector, as they're going to have their first possession here in the second half.
The defensive end on the left side there for Spring Hill, just lined up in the neutral zone at the high school level. It's automatically blown dead. As soon as they snap the football, he's in the neutral zone. You blow it dead. It's a free 5 yards.
First down and 5 now for Rector, as the ball is going to be at the 45-yard line. They're going to fake the handoff. Henderson keeps it left side, and he'll have a running lane, gets about 5 yards as he takes it out to the 50-yard line. That is going to be very near a first down, as they are going to say they're going to say first down, yeah.
Tough sledding there for Henderson. He could not get anything going really in the first half. Just 16 yards on 15 carries for a player averaging almost 10 yards a pop, 2,000 yards rushing coming into it. That's a tough 5 yards there for a first down.
First and 10 at the 50-yard line. Henderson going to work from the shotgun. Takes the snap, and he'll be hit immediately right at the line of scrimmage. And Bobby, you mentioned this in the first half. Henderson, he mishandled the ball off the shotgun snap multiple times there in the first half, and you see when he goes to get that shotgun snap, he almost takes it all the way into the belly rather than catching just with his hands.
Yeah, we saw that early in the first half. He was taking it almost off the chest plate, and so kind of depending, he's not catching it with the hands, which allows the defense more time, because he's got it before he can take off and run. He's got to secure it, put it away, get the 3 points of pressure on it. The defense has a chance to converge.
Second and 10, looking to throw, goes left side, has a man. First down as they'll take it inside the 35. That time hooking up with his wide receiver, it's Ashton Scott.
That's the route that's been open all day for Rector. They don't throw it a ton. They only threw 27 passes coming into this contest. But that corner route coming from Scott has been open every time they've sent him out on a pattern. And that time, finally, Henderson able to hit him in stride, and a big gain sets him up inside the 35.
First and 10 from the 35-yard line. Down to 10:20 to play here in the third quarter. Spring Hill leading 16-8. Passing yards, Rector with 49-12 for Spring Hill. Now ball's on the turf again, and Henderson's able to pick it up, but it's going to be a big loss on the play.
The 6th time that Rector's put the ball on the ground this contest.
And we're going to attribute it to the weather, but they both have to play in it. And Henderson's just having a hard time holding on to the football.
That was a snap that was just too far to the right of Henderson. He couldn't corral it. And they lose 5 yards, and now they're behind the chains again.
Second down now for Rector as the ball's going to be at the 41-yard line. Look at that, 4 fumbles for Rector in this game. Spring Hill with 1. Now we've got whistles as the officials are going to get together and it's like they're going to look at the equipment for the quarterback Henderson, and everything's good, so they'll reset things. It's going to be second down and 16 with the ball at the 41. Looking to throw again. Henderson goes downfield and trying to find Scott, and it's in and out of his hands to bring up a third down now.
Great defensive play there by Levin McGuire, the junior for Spring Hill. Makes contact with Scott right when the football gets there. Forces the incompletion. Really nice job defensively.
So third down and 16. Stops the clock at 9 minutes and 19 seconds. And look at the third down conversion, Bobby, is Rector today 0 for 5 on third down.
Yeah, these are those money plays, but a lot of times it's just like this instance. It's been 3rd and long. They haven't had the luxury of going 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2. 3rd and 15, you're not going to convert that many times.
Quad receivers on the right side as Henderson's going to take it himself. Works it back left, takes a hard hit inside the original sticks as he gets it down to the 38-yard line, but still about 8 yards from the first down.
A lot of window dressing there for a quarterback draw. It looks like you've got quad receivers to the right of the formation, and Henderson takes the quarterback draw just to the left, picks up about half of that third down yardage, and now it's 4th and 7, maybe 4th and a short 8, but a big play coming up for the Rector offense.
Drew Henderson takes the shotgun snap, going to look to throw. Henderson looks right, now comes back left. Going to be under pressure, has nowhere to go, going to run with it. He's out past the 30, he'll be taken down. We've got multiple penalty flags down back behind the line of scrimmage. He's going to have enough for the first down if the penalties don't bring him back. Holding against Rector. Yeah, it's going to be holding on the near side. And so that's going to back up Rector even farther.
The first non-pre-snap penalty we've had today.
No, we had an offsides earlier in the ball game.
Pre-snap?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, non-pre-snap penalty. Yeah, you're right. We haven't had a lot of penalties, though.
Yeah. Been a clean game, so that's crucial. That's critical there for Rector. They pick up the first down. That one's coming back because of a hold. Now they've got to punt it away.
He'll get a foot into it. It's going to hit down at the 10 and take a Spring Hill bounce, and it will be down at the 15-yard line, and that's where Spring Hill will have it 1st and 10 with 8:17 to play. Spring Hill leads Rector 16-8 as you're watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas. Well, excuse me, we'll hold everything. We got a penalty flag. It's going to be a hold against Spring Hill. Going to hold everything before we send it to break. The penalty flag is down at the 41-yard line. You don't see that very often, do you, Bobby?
No.
The hold on the defense on a punt.
It was during the return.
So it's going to bring up 4th down.
We're going to replay the down. So this is going to be, instead of 4th and 17, now 4th and 7. And you got to believe that the Rector offense is going to come back out there.
Well, they haven't moved the sticks. Now the officials are going to move the ball, as that'll put the ball down at the 38-yard line. So you've got a 4th down and 8. And here comes the Rector offense. Henderson in the shotgun, going to take the snap, going to look to throw again. Throws it, the corner route left side. It's going to be intercepted. No, he's going to drop it.
Saves him about 30 yards of field.
I was about to say it actually works out for him.
They tried to go back to that corner route to Scott. He was behind the defense, but the pass was underthrown. Couldn't get it out there, and Spring Hill comes up with a big 4th down stop.
So they got the turnover on downs. Now we'll take the break with 7:57 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Spring Hill leads at 16-8. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
Southern Loft is a proud sponsor of Arkansas PBS. It is our mission to tell your story by adding color with our furniture. And that's why Southern Loft is a different kind of furniture store. For more information, go to mysouthernloft.com.
Give your family a once-in-a-lifetime experience at the Little Rock Zoo. At Arkansas's largest lantern festival, Glow Wild at the Little Rock Zoo. After dark, bring your family to a radiant wonderland where imagination sparks. Discover 40 new lighted mystical creatures and returning favorites at Glow Wild. A once-in-a-lifetime experience.
The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
When you choose Conway Regional, you're choosing a healthcare partner rooted in your community. With 9 primary care locations in 5 counties, we believe in building lasting relationships centered on trust and personalized care. Let our family care for yours.
Vaping addicts you to nicotine and can prematurely age your lungs to those of a 70-year-old. Don't get lost in the fog. Learn more about the hazards of vaping at projectpreventar.org.
ARCare is a proud sponsor of Arkansas PBS Sports. The ARCare network of medical clinics and pharmacies help to keep you in the game playing your best. ARCare, so you can live your story.
Well, Tipton's going to take the handoff for Spring Hill and have nowhere to go as he'll get it back to the line of scrimmage. And so that'll bring up a 2nd down and 10. Clock rolls at 7:41 left here in the 3rd quarter. Spring Hill leading Rector 16-8 in this 8-man championship game. R.J. Honk along with Bobby Swafford. Championship weekend, all weekend long. 2 games tomorrow starting at noon. And then on Saturday as well starting at noon. Going to have a lot of football. If you like high school football, you can keep it right here on Arkansas PBS Sports. Going to hand it to Tipton once again. Tipton, he'll take it out past the 35 to the 36-yard line to bring up 3rd down.
Gone to more of the power I formation has Spring Hill here in the 2nd half. And Rector doing a nice job of controlling that line of scrimmage really since that, the first possession, 2nd possession of the game. Spring Hill hasn't been able to muster much offense. 92 yards in the contest, 47 came on 1 play. So the Rector defense has done their job. But of course, the 1 long rushing touchdown and the special team score is why the Bears have a lead here. We're about halfway home in this 3rd quarter.
So it's 3rd down and 7 officially from the 36-yard line. Look to throw. Smith across the middle of the field he was trying to hook up with his intended wide receiver and just had nowhere to go that time. And he was trying to hook up with Tipton, and so that brings up 4th down and 7.
Yeah, just had happy feet. Wanted to throw it earlier. Just couldn't get the tight end going down the middle of the field. 3 and out, not exactly what you want to do if you're Spring Hill. You turn the football over, give it right back to Rector.
Well, and Jackson Smith has not been the most efficient passer. I mean, he doesn't do it enough, but he was only a 40% passer coming in. As Tipton's going to put a foot into it, gets a nice punt away. That'll be taken down at the 24-yard line. Avery's going to bring it up, and he'll be dropped down shy of the 35, down at the 34-yard line. Well, I tell you what, if you've never seen an 8-man game, it's a lot of guys playing both ways, playing multiple positions. On you don't have a lot of guys on those sidelines. And I said this today on 103.7 The Buzz, that you got to commend the coaches and the AAA and others that really invested in 8-man football for these small towns that, football was going to go away completely if 8-man didn't take place. And for coaches to get together and say, hey, this is what we want to do, it's been a really good thing. As here's Henderson with a big run out past the 50, probably the best run of the night for Henderson as he'll take it into Spring Hill territory.
By far the biggest run of the night, picks up 21 there. Longest prior to that was just 16 yards, and that's what this Rector offense relies on, is big plays from the quarterback, Drew Henderson. And that time he finally breaks the tackle, runs through another arm tackle, and into Spring Hill territory. But it's kind of what you're talking about. This is what exactly it's about. Schools and communities that maybe don't have large enough to play 11-man football, they struggle with numbers. But you can play an 8-man game with 13 or 14 guys on your roster. And that's exactly what a lot of these schools are doing. And we just want more kids to play the game of football.
Here's shotgun to Henderson as they're going to give it to Avery. Avery works it back to left side, and he's got running lanes, and he's going to walk it into the end zone. Caden Avery takes it from 44 yards out for the touchdown.
A great job by Avery to recognize the flow of the defense. Cuts back against the grain. It was nothing between him and Paydirt once he turns the quarter, and had plenty of speed to burn as he puts it in the end zone. And now Rector a 2-point conversion away from tying this contest.
Caden Avery, nice cut back lane, and was able to see Paydirt. Now the 2-point conversion is about to take place. Henderson's going to be in the shotgun. Wingback set off that right side, one receiver in the formation. Henderson going to keep it himself, goes straight ahead, and the ball came out. Who's going to come up with it? And Spring Hill looks like they came up with it. The 2-point conversion is no good. Nobody's given any signal from the officials. And so we're assuming that they didn't get it because nobody has made a signal on touchdown or no touchdown, or 2-point conversion's good or no good. Now they're going to say it's good. So we've got a tie ball game with 5:38 to play here in the third quarter. Look, here's Henderson was able to just run into the end zone and lost it at the very last minute. And
two Rector players right there to recover. I don't know what the long discussion was. There wasn't even a white jersey within a yard of the football, but either way, we are all tied up just like we drew it up.
Well, and Bobby, as the game's tied, you almost have a new game because now the rain is coming down heavy, just like when we started this game. I mean, it is monsoon rains that are coming down here at War Memorial Stadium.
Conway Regional Health System is proud to support, spotlight, and celebrate Arkansas student athletes and Arkansas PBS sports. Since 1921, Conway Regional Health System has provided complete health care services to the growing communities of North Central Arkansas. For more information, visit conwayregional.org.
This might be, it was raining pretty hard during the pregame, but this might be one of the hardest rains that we've seen since this game has started, as it is really coming down. Now, Rector players are coming off the field. They're going to come back to the sideline for a moment.
Had a quick review of the 2-point conversion. The call stands. The try was good. Yeah, I kind of felt bad. So during the pregame festivities, if you have never been to here at War Memorial Stadium, the players cleared the field, and so the dance team, the cheerleaders, the band can do all that stuff. Well, the Spring Hill cheerleaders were out there doing their routine, and literally somebody took the bottom of the ocean, just like cut a hole in it, and all of a sudden it fell on War Memorial Stadium.
And they ran to the locker room.
They just said, you know what, we're done with this routine.
Good.
We're going back to the tent on the sideline.
Yeah, no, I mean, it is coming down. And I talked to some guys on the way, and they're going to slow the game or cancel the game because the rain. No, you can play in the rain, you can't play in the lightning, as the onside kick was recovered. And that time, recovering the onside kick for Spring Hill was Mason Moore, who was able to jump on it. But no, I mean, you can play in rain all day. It's just when that lightning starts to come, that's when you have to take caution.
This is when you're thankful for that artificial turf.
Yes.
This would be a slop fest.
But I will say this, Bobby, when you and I played and there were grass fields, there was nothing better, though, whenever it was a muddy mess and you're just running and sliding, especially as an offensive lineman like yourself.
See, that's where you're wrong, because you're down there on the ground drowning in mud, you feel like. You pretty boys on the outside, look at the old prance around your white shoes. We're down there slopping with the pigs.
So Spring Hill's got it, 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line, as Tipton's going to take it, and he'll bring it out to the 34-yard line. He'll pick up 3 yards on the play to bring up 2nd down.
Going back to just the power run game right up the middle for Tipton. It worked early in that first quarter. It hasn't done a whole lot since then. And I continue to be impressed by the way that Dalton Lamar is playing, the defensive lineman for Rector. I mean, he is around the football at all times for this Cougar defense. Got 9 tackles. Most in the contest.
2nd down and 7. Under 5 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter. They're going to hand it to Tipton. He has nowhere to go. Absolutely just bottled up the line of scrimmage. And now that's going to bring up 3rd down.
Gabe Mosley again right there at his 5th stop of the contest. So the 2 defensive tackles for Rector are carrying the load for the defense. Mosley and Lamar, they're doing a job on this Spring Hill rushing attack.
So clock rolling at 4:26 left here in the 3rd. Tie ball game, 16-16. Jackson Smith thought about throwing it. Now he's going to run. Has running lanes out past the 50. Stays on his feet inside the 30-yard line. The defense broke down. He had running lanes for days. And he flips the field as he takes Spring Hill down into Rector territory.
We haven't talked about the running ability of the Spring Hill quarterback much. He came into the contest 2nd on the team with 584 yards on the ground, a pair of touchdowns. He's got 10 two-point conversions. The quarterback does a job. That one broke down early. Rector broke through the pass protection. He goes up that home sideline. Huge gain, and the Bears are now within striking distance.
Well, it's a fresh set of downs as they're going to put the ball at the 27-yard line. It's 1st and 10 for Spring Hill. Clock is stopped at 4 minutes and 9 seconds. Now the official's going to blow it into play as everybody got the chain set. As Smith will be under center. Going to hand it to Tipton straight ahead. He'll get past the 25 down to the 24-yard line. 3-yard pickup.
Tipton a little slow to get up there. He's taking a beating. He comes up limping just a little bit, but he's just constantly been that hammer against the anvil. He's beating against that Rector defense. 16 carries now, 83 yards for TJ Tipton. He's going to check himself out of the contest.
2nd down and 7 as they are taking every bit of time off that play clock as we're down to 9 seconds on the play clock. Gonna hand it off once again. Gets about a yard on the play, and that'll bring up 3rd down now after Tipton. Was it Tipton? I believe it was actually a different running back that time for Spring Hill. It was Alex Arriga who ran at that time.
Yeah, just like we saw with Tipton, though, I understand why you thought it was him because he came out of his stance so quickly.
Yeah,
it looks like he's there. It's a false start, but let's be timing up that snap perfectly.
So it's now 3rd down and 5 from the 22-yard line. And now we've got whistles and a timeout charge to Spring Hill with 2 minutes and 27 seconds left here in the 3rd. It's 16-16.
Yeah. Play clock was starting to run down there for Spring Hill. Don't want to risk it at 3rd and 5. Risk giving up 5 yards. So nice job by Greg Smith to go ahead and give that timeout.
So
Southern Lofts is a proud supporter of Arkansas PBS Sports and our Arkansas student athletes. Located at 3155 North College Avenue and Suite 102 in Fayetteville. Southern Loft, a different kind of furniture store. For more information, just visit mysouthernloft.com.
Well, with 2:27 left here in the third, you've got a 3rd down and 5 for Spring Hill. And, you know, it seems to me, Bobby, much the second and third quarter, they've shut Tipton down. He's not been able to run, but they've found their most success when they've allowed for Jackson Smith to get outside the pocket and run a little bit.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, that's what this offense is really built on, is Tipton's those body blows. If this was a boxing match, just kind of wears you out with this blow after blow, and all of a sudden they get you sucking down on that short inside run, and all of a sudden that's when they pop it to the outside and break the big one.
So Spring Hill is going to break the huddle on this 3rd down and 5.
So you take it. So they've got a 47-yard run and a 39-yard run. You take those two away, Spring Hill's done nothing, but obviously you can't do that.
Smith going to look to throw. Goes across the middle of the field, throws it behind his intended target. That time trying to hook up with his wide receiver. As Bobby, I believe for Spring Hill, he was trying to hook up with Reese Tarver, or was it Blaine Tuttle? No, it was Reese Tarver.
This late across the middle, that's the second time we've now seen Jackson Smith try to throw the ball late across the middle, and lucky that one wasn't picked off. The defensive back was there in position, just couldn't make the play, and now it's 4th and 5 for Spring Hill, and obviously 4-down territory.
So you've got 4th down and 5 as Jackson Smith is going to be under center. Fakes the pitch, going to look to throw, and he'll be just sacked in the backfield, and it'll be a turnover on downs for Spring Hill and Rector. They save a score by Spring Hill.
A big stop there by the defense, and Rector, who has all the momentum in this contest, they've scored 16 unanswered points to tie this ball game up, and now they've got a chance to take the lead for the first time in the game.
Clock stopped at 2 minutes and 16 seconds. Rector's going to come out with 4 wide receivers in the formation. Henderson going to keep it himself. Works it back right side. Running with the football past the 40-yard line. Picks up the first down and much more as he's going to take it down to the 42-yard line.
Momentum is clearly on the side of the Rector Cougars. They score right before the half. They tie things up, and now they get a big defensive stop, and now they're on the move once again.
First down and 10. Ball at the 42. Henderson going to run with it again. Another big running lane, gets another first down, takes it into Spring Hill territory as he'll be inside the 45-yard line down to the 42-yard line.
Yeah, that was a prime example of when a bad snap actually can be a good thing, because it throws off the timing of the defense, because it's automatic instinct of like, okay, ball's on the ground, go get it, and you don't focus on the player who's able to pick it up there. Henderson comes out the backside with it, another big gain, now into Spring Hill territory.
First down and 10, ball at the, they're going to officially say the 43-yard line. Boy, Rector's had so much success after spreading out the offense, letting Henderson have those running lanes. 4 wide in the formation again. They're going to hand it off. This time it's to Avery. Avery works it around the 30, and he'll go out of bounds. And Bobby, they're going from really bunching it up at the line of scrimmage to where they're spreading it out and really spreading this defense out to where they can't just key on the defender, the running back, or on Henderson.
We talked about with Spring Hill, they soften you up with those body blows to fullback inside. Well, that's kind of what Rector does. They do that with the quarterback over and over again, and all of a sudden they get something to the outside, and you're not expecting it, and that's why Avery picks up the big game.
And now the bad snap. It's going to go all the way back to the 45. Henderson stays on his feet, but it's going to be a big loss that time. Another bad snap by Rector, and that's going to back him up.
Yeah, just 2 yards forward, or 2 steps forward, 2 steps back now for this Rector offense. The 7th time, number 7, the time they've put the football on the turf. They've only lost 2 of those, but the negative plays have really started to add up, and now they're way behind the chains. You're looking at 2nd and 23 coming up.
So 2nd down and 23, down to 37 seconds left here in the 3rd. Henderson's going to have 4 wide in the formation. Avery comes in motion. They're going to pitch it to him left side. Going to get bottled up and knocked down. He's going to lose more yardage.
Great job of rallying to the football. Spring Hill 64, Joe Phillips, the 2nd man out there. It was 10. Carson Moore, the 1st man, turns him back in, and then Phillips cleans it up as the final play of the 3rd quarter.
Well, we have wrapped up 3 quarters in this 8-man championship game. We've got a tie ball game, 16-16 between Spring Hill and Rector's. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Looks like we have some new help in the marketing department.
Action! Hi, I'm Susie Everett with Everett Buick GMC. I think you need to work on your line better. How about you do it? Family owned, customer friendly. Family owned, no friendly. Come see us at Everett Buick GMC, I-30 at Alcoa exit. Buckle up, everybody!
Let's take a look at some of these highlights so far in this game. Look at Tipton run. Boy, he was running early and often here in the 1st half of this ball game as he got the first 2 scores of the ball game. But there's Henderson. He was able to get in the end zone to get the first score for Rector, and it has just been a back and forth. Really, it was all Spring Hill in the 1st half, and Rector has come to life here in the 2nd half. As right there you see, it's just Avery running wild here in the 1st half. He has had a really, really good 1st half as Spring Hill, they are knotted at 16 apiece as we start the 4th quarter of play. And it's anybody's game as we start the 4th quarter of this 8-man state championship game. Bobby Swafford, I'm RJ Hawk. You've got a 3rd down and 26 from the 46-yard line for Rector. They go 4 wide in the formation. They hand it to Avery on the end around. Avery works it back right side, gets it past the 40, and he'll pick up about 6, maybe 7 yards on the play, but it brings up a 4th down now.
Yeah, it's a tough spot here for Rector. You're kind of in no man's land. You're inside the 40, so you'd think about punting maybe off the table, but also you've got a chance to pin Spring Hill deep back. I mean, it's 4th and 17, so this is the chance of success is pretty low, right?
Yeah.
So maybe you think about punting, even though you are inside the 40, to try to flip the field position and give this Spring Hill offense a full field to go, because they've really struggled since Tipton broke the big run.
Bobby, I just looked down on the field, and they have now started putting footballs in black plastic trash bags to try to save from the rain. Here's a big pass play across the middle, and it's intercepted at the 15-yard line. Coming the other way, and Spring Hill got the turnover, and coming up with the interception, it was Carson Hamilton who came up with it. And Bobby, in the grand scheme of things, it's like a big punt, but a nice turnover by Carson Hamilton that time.
Yeah, a great play on the football, because the receiver actually had pretty decent position, but as soon as he's coming over, Hamilton makes the play, and a huge interception to get the turnover and give the Bears the football back.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for Spring Hill as they'll have it down at the...
They're going to mark this. They could call it a blindside block on the return.
Okay, I didn't see the penalty.
So they're going to march this one all the way back. So the punt actually works out pretty well. I know it's not going to look great on the stat sheet for Rector tomorrow, but this one puts it all the way back to the 12-yard line. It kind of works out like the punt I was talking about.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because now Spring Hill has to they've got to go the length of the football field to get a touchdown with 11:41 left here in the ball game. It's 1st and 10 for Spring Hill. They're going to put the ball down at the 13-yard line. Boy, Bobby, when we looked at this game on paper coming to this one, you thought it was going to be quite lopsided between these two teams, and it's been everything but. As Spring Hill has played lights out, both teams have played lights out in this state championship game as they hand it off to Tipton straight up the middle. Doesn't have a lot to work with as he'll get a couple yards on the play.
It's been really impressive the way that both these defenses have taken the field and really dominated this contest. With the exception of a handful of plays that have broken loose, the defensive fronts have just owned this football game, and that's why we're sitting here in a tie contest with 12 minutes to play.
Well, and you know, some people will look at this and say, well, the rain played a lot into this, and that might be true, but they're both having to play in it. And the fact that you've got a 16-16 game, that says a lot about both these defenses in this one. So Spring Hill on this second down. Now we've got whistles and penalty flags.
Now with the steady rain continuing to fall, ball security is going to be so much more important than it was in the first 3 quarters, because every possession, every play, every inch of grass out there on the playing surface is going to matter.
Yeah, that turf is very saturated tonight, as they have been playing in the swamp here at War Memorial Stadium. So it's second down and 12 with the ball at the 11-yard line. Smith going to look to throw, had a man, he was wide open. It was Blaine Tuttle who came around on the waggle route across the middle of the field. There was nobody but him out there, and the ball got overthrown.
Just had him. There's been a couple throws, and you mentioned, the throwing is not the strong suit of either Spring Hill or Rector. It's 40% completion percentage on the season for the Bears, and third and long is not advantageous for either one of these squads, but these defenses continue to put both of these offenses behind the chains.
So it's third down and 12 now from the 11-yard line. Jackson Smith. Now we're going to call a timeout. It's going to be charged to Spring Hill with 10 minutes and 29 seconds left here in the first half, and we've got a tie ball game, 16-16.
That could also be big later in the contest, RJ. That's just one timeout left now for Spring Hill.
And we've seen both these two teams use their timeouts throughout the half, but I'll tell you what, Bobby, this is a big third down for Spring Hill.
Join us at the Little Rock Zoo for our 3rd annual Glow Wild and our theme Once in a Lifetime, November 16th through January 7th. It runs from 5 to 9 p.m. each night this year with 3 themed areas and over 40 new lanterns. For more information for public and zoo member tickets, just visit littlerockzoo.com/extra-fun-glow-wild.
So, Bobby, I will admit I went to Glow Wild and took my kids, and I will say they did have something really cool. This little tease for if you go to Glow Wild, they've got this bubble machine, right? And the bubble machine is caked with smoke, and so when it goes up and you pop the bubble, smoke just disappears. Bubble, and it's actually kind of cool. And so my kids like the smoky bubble.
It's very cool. Technology is a heck of a thing.
It really is. But yeah, Glow Wild at the zoo. Go by and see it. So it's third down and 12. As Jackson Smith is going to take it, steps up in the pocket, going to throw downfield, underthrows his man, is going to be incomplete. Now we've got penalty flags. Who are they going to call it on?
This could really go either way. There's a lot of hand fighting. The ball was extremely underthrown, and I thought that this may actually go against Spring Hill because the defensive player had position and has every right to the football as much as the offense does.
Say pass interference.
Indicate which way, though.
Now let's see, pass interference against Rector. Boy, that is a big-time penalty, Bobby.
It is. It's third and long. You think you're going to get the football back with great field position, have a chance at an interception, but a 50-50 call goes against you, and now you got to recuperate. You can't dwell on that bad call, or that bad call against you, I should say. I'm not saying it's a bad call, but you got to be able to bounce back and regroup and try to force another turnover or get the ball back for your offense with the punt.
So it's 1st and 10 with the ball now at the 26-yard line. Jackson Smith going to work on the shotgun this time. Fakes the pitch, going to look to throw. He's under pressure. He'll be dropped.
That's the football.
And the ball came all the way over to the near hash mark, and luckily there was a Spring Hill player sitting right there on top of it.
Carson Moore is the only player in the stands in the stadium that might have known that ball came out.
Yeah, it shot out so fast, and he was the only one standing there. So I don't think this is supposed to be over here.
A heads up play there by Moore, but again, now it's a 2nd and long situation for Spring Hill. 139 yards of offense. They've gone to the passing game a little more than probably we anticipated here in the second half, and it really hasn't come out too well. Just 1 of 5 passing in Spring Hill.
Smith gonna hand it off left side. That goes to the big man as Tipton takes it out past the 25 to the 26. Gets back to the original marker, so now it's 3rd down and 10.
91 yards now for TJ Tipton. So creeping up on that 100-yard mark. That's the most in the game for either side.
Third down and 10 with the ball at the 26. Man's going to come in motion. Smith's going to fake it. Going to throw it down the middle of the field. Has a man down at the 45. 50 into Rector territory. It's Carson Hamilton who comes up with the reception and takes it into Rector territory.
A great job by Smith to hang in the pocket, and an excellent adjustment by the receiver to kind of come back to the underthrown ball. Carson Hamilton makes the play, and as you just mentioned, RJ, gets down into Rector territory, the biggest gain in the passing game for the Bears.
Clock rolling at 8:40. Starting to see that pass interference penalty loom big right now here in the 4th quarter. First down and 10 with the ball at the Rector 41-yard line. Smith is going to be under center as he'll hand it to Tipton. Tipton will get it past the 40 and inside to the 38-yard line.
Almost daring you to run up the football. Right pre-snap, there's a huge hole. It's almost guard to guard. Nobody over the center, over the inside shoulder of either guard for this Rector defense, but yet they collapse so well on TJ Tipton right there and holding to a gain of 3.
So it's 2nd down and 7 now. Now we've got whistles and penalty flags. There was a false start on Spring Hill. That stops the clock at 7 minutes and 42 seconds left here in the ball game.
Stop me if you've heard this before. It's another 2nd and long.
We've had a lot of those tonight.
Yes.
I know Troy Mitchell does all of our stats, but I'd like to know how many of those we've had throughout the ball game.
2nd and long, 3rd and long. For 2 run-heavy teams, that's not usually a recipe for success, and that's why we've got ourselves in a 16-16 tie in an 8-man sport that's usually pretty high scoring.
Option play goes right side. We've got whistles and another false start.
Wrong direction. Eighth penalty of the game on Spring Hill for 55 yards. 3 penalties against Rector for 40. And of course, 15 of that came on this drive with the pass interference call.
So it's 2nd down and 17 with the ball at the 48-yard line now. Clock is rolling at 7:08 left here in the ball game. Takes the pitch, going to look to throw. That's Smith. He has nowhere to go and loses more yardage. Lost another yard to bring up 3rd down now. And now the ball's at the 49-yard line.
Try a rollout pass there for Smith. There's nobody open. A great job by the Rector secondary. That's a coverage sack. The big boys up front converge.
Down to 6:28 left here in the game. You've got a 3rd down and 18 with the ball at the 49-yard line.
Before we get too far into this, I got to give a huge shout out to the fans who have stuck it out today.
Yes.
The weather is nasty. Spring Hill and Rector communities showing their support.
And now we've got whistles and a timeout charge to Spring Hill.
It's their last one. They're out.
So while they take a break, we will as well. 6:03 left here in the game. 16-16 is our scores. You're watching the Centennial Bank High School State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
The commitment it takes to be a winner on the field is the same as the commitment Centennial shows its customers. Patience, perseverance, commitment, and resilience are key ingredients for success, both on and off the field. Whether you're cheering on your home team or needing encouragement starting a new business, let Centennial Bank help you make plans for your future. Centennial, for all of life's moments. Member FDIC.
For every moment, for every memory, from that first car to your first home, to your first child, and all the highs and lows that tomorrow might bring. For everything that matters most to you and your family, there's someone right around the corner dedicated to helping you protect what you love. Your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
You want to relive all this fun over and over again? Order yourself a copy of it. Let's go to mmproductions.net and place your order. And as we say that, the torrential rains have returned.
They're heavier than what they just were. I mean, we just talked about how hard it was. It's now heavier. But we've still got football to play as the fake. Now Jackson Smith's going to look to throw. He throws it downfield, and it's incomplete as he tried to hook up with wide receivers. Good job. He's hanging in there and trying to throw off balance, and either way, it's going to bring up a 4th down.
It might be the most time he's had to throw all night long, but still not able to get much behind that pass because of the pressure bearing down on him. And now Rector going to get the football back more than halfway through this 4th quarter. Maybe one drive to win a title.
I mean, I don't know if you can tell on TV, but it is pouring. I mean, it is coming down right now as they're going to put a foot into it, and it'll take a good Spring Hill roll inside the 15 and down to the 6-yard line, and that's where it's going to die for Rector, and Rector's going to have to take it. I thought somebody may have touched it, but
touched it up close to the 12 to the 15-yard line. We'll see if they respot this, because the ball should be ruled dead or remarked back where it was first touched.
I don't know if the official saw that it was touched.
Yeah, it's up near the 15-yard line. That's 9 yards of field position.
I mean, look right here. So the officials are talking about it.
10 yards of field position. That's at the 16. So that's where the ball should come back out.
I mean, I don't know if he touched it.
He hit it with his foot.
Oh, did it?
No.
I thought he jumped over it. Here's the replay right here.
I believe when his left foot comes over.
I don't know what happened. There. Nope.
It took an unnatural turn.
Well, now they're going to respot it out at the 15-yard line.
They got that right. That's good. Good job by the officiating crew. You can see it right here. He gets it with his left foot there.
Yeah.
Oh, eagle eye. Spotted it.
Here's Henderson with a running lane left side. Gets past one defender, and he'll be taken down past the 25 to the 28-yard line. Nice run for a first down right there for Henderson. And so that'll bring a fresh set of downs as the clock rolls it under 5:35 remaining.
Workhorse tonight, Drew Henderson, as we expected. 23 carries for 90 yards.
As Henderson will be in the shotgun again. Gonna hand it to Avery. Avery works the back right side. He'll be tripped up and taken down after about a 5-yard gain to bring up second down. Well, the thing if you're Spring Hill right now, you want them to run it, but you got to stop it because you want that clock to roll without them getting just a ton of yardage each time.
Always looking for that stop, always trying to get one more possession.
Henderson going to keep it himself, works it right side, cuts it back up the middle, and he'll be very near a first down. As they're going to stop the clock, they are going to say it's a first down.
So what's going to be ever more important here, RJ? We've seen Rector put the ball on the ground 7 times, and a lot of that's been because of the center quarterback exchange and the shotgun. You have to be clean here if you're Rector to keep this drive going. You can't put yourself behind the chains like they've done so many times tonight.
So 1st and 10 with the ball at the 38-yard line. Henderson going to keep it himself, has a running lane, left side, gets it past the 50 to the 35, and he'll be taken down at the 26-yard line.
That is a great job up front to open up the running lane, but even better job by Henderson to be patient in the hole and allow that to open up. And he finds that lane and puts on the afterburners, and now they're inside the 30.
So 4:10 and counting left in this one as Rector's got it down at the 26-yard line.
This is where if you're Rector, you start to really slow things down. You try to not only pick up yards, pick up first downs, but you want to score with about 1 second left. You want to make sure that Spring Hill does not have enough time to answer. Easier said than done, though. Spring Hill's defense is still standing in the way.
Henderson going to take it himself as he'll be taken down at inside the 25 to the 23-yard line for a second down. But here's the other thing, though. You don't want to, it almost got punched out at the very end, but you don't want to take too much time because we've seen this Spring Hill defense step up big down in this end of the field.
Got to stay positive. That's a good first down play if you're Rector. If you're a home fan right now, well, you'll take 3 and 4 yards and keep the chain moving, and more importantly, keep the clock running. So they're working that play clock down already down to 5.
Second down and 7. They're going to hand it to Avery right side. Avery goes off the edge and he'll get hit hard, but he'll be taken down very near the first down. They're going to say it is a first down, and they're going to move the sticks.
Inside 3 minutes to play. To 16, so they can pick up another first down. And this is where those 3 timeouts that Spring Hill burned because they were about to get a delay of game are so important now. They cannot stop the clock. And so they're really at the mercy of, 1, their defense, but 2, this Rector offense bleeding the play clock down.
First down and 10, ball at the 16-yard line. Henderson takes the snap, he fumbles it, ball's on the turf. Who comes up with it? Henderson's got it. Henderson's got the football. I said Henderson, is actually Aria that came up with it for Spring Hill.
Henderson just lost the handle on it. The option to read, and nobody touched him. There was no mishandled exchange. He just lost the football. And you got to believe the weather conditions had a lot to do with that, but a tough break there for Drew Henderson in this Rector offense, but Spring Hill's defense takes advantage of the 8th fumble of the contest by Rector.
Alex Arriga comes up with it for Spring Hill, and it's 1st and 10 for Spring Hill with 2:28 to play here in the 4th quarter.
Rector has all 3 timeouts remaining. Spring Hill has none. They got to hurry to get to the line, though, down to 5 on this play clock.
Smith gonna spike the football.
It's kind of some miscommunication there. So they had to, coming out of the change of possession, stop the clock on first down when the clock wasn't running, but kind of an interesting move.
I think he was I think that he was just a bit confused, thinking that the clock was rolling. So either way, it's 2nd down and 10.
They were. You could tell they were discombobulated there, RJ. They didn't line up in time. Almost looked like he didn't receive the snap in time.
But the play clock was rolling down. I mean, it was down to 1, and now he's going to fumble it, and he'll get taken down the backfield.
Just didn't field that snap cleanly, and that's going to be
an awful couple plays so far for Spring Hill as we're down to 2:13 and counting left here in the 4th quarter.
That's a loss of 4 back to the 15. I'm surprised Rector's not taking the timeout here on 3rd down. Try to save some of that clock because we've seen 3rd and 12, 3rd and 13 hasn't been converted too many times tonight. And Spring Hill's going to let this one bleed all the way down. Now we're down to 12, and so they finally get the play call in, so they're going to have to rush the line again just to get this snap off. Not handling the clock well here in this fourth quarter.
Smith going to take the snap. Under pressure, steps up in the pocket. He'll be taken down again. The defensive pressure from Rector has been off the charts here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Rector finally takes that timeout, but there's no time to pass at all. Jackson Smith trying to throw the pass there, but this has no time. And it's the rush is in the backfield as soon as Smith can get his eyes up on the receivers. And the Cougars take a timeout with 1:33 left in this contest. And you expect they're going to get the football back after you would think a punt here with really good field position.
Well, Bobby, the missed opportunity by Spring Hill has just been tough. And they had the opportunity here in the fourth and just they've squandered it away, and now they've got a 4th down and long.
You can get live action photos from the game at myarpbs.org/photos. Grab free downloads. You can have print made. Great championship keepsake, and we have to give a huge shout out to Kai Caddy, who's out there weathering these elements to get you all these great shots. Go and check them out. The AAA social media feed. Sent out a few of them throughout this contest. So tip of the cap for the man who's soaked out there.
So it's 4th down and 16, and they're going to punt. Back deep for Rector is going to be Drew Henderson. It's going to be a short punt. It's going to hit down at the 35, take a Spring Hill roll past the 40, and it will come to a conclusion down at the 43, excuse me, and that's where Rector's going to have it with 1:21 left to play in this one.
Not many times in life do you get a chance to redeem yourself, but Drew Henderson's getting exactly that. He fumbles on the last possession, and now he's got a chance with 81 seconds and 2 timeouts left to put Rector in the end zone and give the school their first state championship.
So Rector, as Henderson's in the shotgun, he'll keep it himself. Works it right side, is able to get about a yard on the play. Clock's rolling, 1:12 and counting. Rector's got 2 timeouts remaining.
Likely going to be inside a minute by the time they snap this football.
Henderson out of the shotgun, going to keep it himself. Cuts it back left side. He'll be taken down shy of the 30-yard line down, or excuse me, the 35. He'll be down at the 36. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 3 now for Rector.
They take the timeout. You see Henderson use the stutter step there. You might almost like to see him just lower the shoulder and try to get out of bounds to stop the clock. But instead, they've got to burn their 2nd timeout here in the second half. Now a huge 3rd and 3 coming up for the Cougars.
So you've got 45 seconds. And here's the thing. If you look at the passing game for both these two teams, Rector's had the better passing game here in the rain today. So if they've got to find a passing game,
got to go to Scott.
Yeah, you got to go Scott.
It is. I mean, number 17 in blue has been open all night long. It's just getting him the football has been the issue.
So it's 3rd down and 3. Henderson out of the shotgun. He'll take the snap. Keeps it himself, has nowhere to go, and he's bottled up in the backfield and dropped at the 40-yard line.
So the play clock is actually behind the game clock here. So they don't have to run a play if they don't want to. If you're Rector, I blow this all the way down to 1 second and take a timeout. They go ahead and take the timeout here, which if a failed 4th down attempt could turn the football back over to Spring Hill. I'd almost run that down to 1 second and throw a Hail Mary.
Yeah, I mean, or the other option was to run a 4th down play. If you get the 1st down, call the timeout then.
Yeah, you do, but you also, if you don't get it, you risk the chance of a turnover on downs.
I mean, I agree, yeah.
So,
but even if you turn it over on downs, though, Bobby, I mean, Spring Hill's got to go 57 yards in order to get the touchdown, and they've just not been able to do, reel off those big plays all night. They've had one big play all night.
But all it takes is one.
Oh, true. I mean, yeah, you're correct. Yes, you're right.
Dynamite drop in there. That broadcasting school is really paying off for me.
Yeah. By the way, if just going to throw this out there for all you football fans out there, if you're watching the football game in the NFL tonight. The Dallas Cowboys just took the lead on the Seahawks.
Nobody's watching it. They're watching it this.
I know, but I just saw it on the TV here in the press box. Here is a pass play. It's caught. They're going to go hook and ladder, and Avery's got it now. He stays on his feet, trying to get that first down. He's just bouncing off players, but he's going to come up shy of the first down.
I like the idea. I like the thought process. I thought the ball hit the ground, though. And it must have been a great job of keeping his hands underneath it. Really nice play on the outside. I like the idea. Didn't wait long enough to pitch him the football, though. You need that momentum of the defense coming back in. And too many bodies in white jerseys right there. They get the 4th down stop. Great catch, though.
So 14 seconds left here in the first half. And Spring Hill's on the sideline huddling up to talk about this one. Well, Bobby.
For it again.
Well, and, you know, we got to remind folks, this is only the first championship of the weekend. We've had delays with the weather. Got 14 seconds till potential overtime. I mean, we've had a good one here in this first state championship game.
So the one thing we needed to do, we didn't do. We needed to pace ourselves for the weekend.
Yes, yeah.
We're just letting it all go.
Yeah, and we're going to be back tomorrow at noon to do the 2A game. So it's 1st down and 10 with the ball going to be at the 35-yard line. Jackson Smith, the quarterback. He'll work from under center. As Smith gonna pitch it left side. Puts it in the hands of Hamilton. Hamilton gets slung down before he gets to the 1st down. And
it's out of bounds, though.
He does get out of bounds on that far side of the field. So that stops the clock with 7 seconds remaining here in the game. Second down. Smith going to look to throw. Steps up in the pocket. Looking, has no one to throw to. Runs down field past the 40, and that's going to do it. And you're going to get free football.
Nothing better. Second time in 3 years we're going to get overtime in the 8-man state championship game. A couple years ago the final was 66-60. This time we're going into the extra period at 16.
Well, we'll take a break. When we come back, we will have the overtime here in the 8-man championship game as you're watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
What makes a dairy bar different from other food establishments? Here in Arkansas, it describes a whole selection of restaurants we love. It's a location that serves ice cream, burgers, or hot dogs, some having been in existence 50 years or more. Come travel with me on a culinary itinerary of Arkansas dairy bars.
Download the PBS video app or watch online.
During the past year, we've been traversing the natural state with our cinematic drone, from lakes and rivers, waterfalls, scenic byways, mountains, swamps, overlooks, and towering rock formations. This unique documentation of all 4 seasons from all 4 corners of the state with an aerial cinematic perspective will give you, the viewer, an Arkansas adventure like never before, exploring Arkansas from above.
Download the PBS video app or watch online.
I'm Kat Robinson, and I preach the gospel of Arkansas food.
No, really? No, it is not.
For more than a decade, I've been traveling the state.
Good morning.
Searching out our culinary roots and every great little restaurant and food story I can find.
Hope you made room for pie.
Thank you. Download the PBS video app or watch online.
Well, we're starting overtime. 16-16 between Spring Hill and Rector in the 8-man state championship football game. Bobby Swafford, I'm RJ Hawk. As you know, these two teams said, hey, you know, it's been raining. We haven't gotten enough of this. So we're gonna stick around for another period and try to see who's gonna become the champion of the 8-man football league here in Arkansas. And Bobby, you know, for those that aren't familiar with overtime rules in Arkansas, why don't you go ahead and give everybody the rundown?
It's really important right here. What we're about to see is the coin toss, because whoever wins the coin toss has the option of going on offense or defense, or which end of the field. So generally you'll see the team who wins the toss will defer, go on defense first, and so that one then you can find out if you got to sometimes kick the extra point or go for the 2-point conversion, whatever the case may be. But the ball is going to be put on the 10-yard line. You get 4 downs. And unless there's a penalty there that would extend the play. So 1st and 10, 1st and goal from the 10-yard line, and we'll just keep playing.
So captains are at midfield. As coming up with the coin, they didn't mic the coin toss, so
there is no clock. So that's one thing to pay attention to as well. What you see counting down is just the stadium clock for the timeout here.
The Spring Hill won the toss, and they elected to defer. Rector will get the football first, and they will go towards the north end zone here at War Memorial Stadium.
They're going to be down on the end with the video board. So Rector's going to have the ball at the 10. There's a lot of strategy that goes into it when you bring the kicking game into it. Obviously, Spring Hill and Rector haven't messed around with kicking extra points today. So
it would be awesome if they've got one guy that randomly can kick and they just trot him out.
Yeah, they've been holding him back all year long.
Yeah, surprise.
Sandbagging him. Tricked you.
Didn't plan for that one, did you? So either way, they're going to have it at the 10-yard line, and it's the first go around in overtime.
It really is fitting for these two defenses to play as well as they have. To hold a Rector team that's averaging 400 yards on the ground essentially per game to half of that. Now they got a chance to, it's really between them and 10 yards and a state title.
So Henderson's going to be in the shotgun. He's got one receiver split wide to the right. Avery's in the backfield. Henderson will keep it himself, and he'll be taken down immediately. Coming up to make the stop that time for Spring Hill, it was Origa.
What a great play in space. He's just one-on-one with a 2,000-yard rusher, and he just steps into the hole and makes the play. That is a perfect form tackle, and you can't ask for a better play from your linebacker.
He's a good-sized linebacker, too, as he stepped in that hole. And so now here's Avery, right side, trying to get around the corners. He'll take it inside the 10-yard line down to the 9.
It just tripped him up there. Looked like Avery might have had the edge, but the shoestring tackle saves Avery from getting into the end zone. And now it's 3rd down, just inside that 5-yard line. Call it to 4.
So 3rd down and goal. They're going to officially spot it at the 4-yard line.
I believe that we've seen Henderson go straight ahead in this formation all night.
Henderson takes it left side. He's going to dive for the end zone. Touchdown. Was able to get the bunch formation. 2 backs in the backfield that pushed that defensive line, and Henderson was able to run it in for the score.
It wasn't the exact same thing we've seen from Rector all night. That time they pushed it a little bit farther to the left side, and a great job by Henderson to fight through a couple arm tackles, lunges into the end zone, and for the first time tonight, the #1 team in Class 8-man has a lead.
And they're going to go for 2. As Henderson will be in the shotgun, going to look to throw this time. Goes left side, and it's incomplete as it went in and out of his intended target's hands, trying to hook up with Ashton Scott that time. And so it's 22-16. Bobby, that could be huge as we're in overtime.
You can see the flags on the far end of the field. The wind has started to pick up a little bit with this rain, and that pass was underthrown. Scott was behind the defense again on that corner route. All you have to do is lay it out there. Henderson couldn't put enough one on it. Maybe the wind affected it. Maybe the conditions did. Either way, Spring Hill has a chance to win this contest here in overtime.
So Spring Hill, they're going to have it at the 10.
Never claimed to be an expert here, RJ, but I would imagine number 15, TJ Tipton, is going to touch the football at least once on this possession, maybe all four downs.
Smith going to hand it to Tipton, and he has nowhere to go. Got stuffed at the line of scrimmage, and that brings up 2nd down.
Another great job of those 2 defensive tackles for Rector. They stand Tipton up in the hole, holding to a no gain.
And they've really done a great job in the second half stopping Tipton. He has not really done much in the second half running the football.
Dalton Lamar again, 62, makes the play, his 17th tackle of the contest from a defensive lineman.
Yeah. So it's second down and goal from the 10-yard line. Smith will be under center. They're going to pitch it right side. Give it to Hamilton. Hamilton takes it to the 9 for a 1-yard gain.
A great job just of assignment football. Jacob Mooneyhan, who led the team in tackles coming into this contest. I mean, able to just go with the flow. 66 tackles on the season coming into it, and makes the play stays with the option. And now it's 3rd and long for Spring Hill.
Well, they spotted him down back at the 10, so it was a no gain on the play. So now you've got 3rd and goal.
The clock's at 7.
Jackson Smith under center, going to look to throw. Goes across the middle, had a man wide open. That was Blaine Tuttle, and he overthrows him, and now you've got 4th down.
It has the tight end on the drag. Maybe call it a shallow cross. Might have been a little deeper than a normal drag route for a tight end, but just over the outreached arm of 81 and White, and now it's one play for a state title. And the Spring Hill is going to take a timeout, take a little extra time to discuss things. This is what you dream of. If you're a high school football player growing up, watching games, you've got one play to keep your state championship hopes alive.
Yeah, Bobby, and you know, look, Jackson Smith has not been very accurate all night tonight, but that one right, I mean, he's 2 of 9 so far on the night passing. He had his big tight end, and you just lob that up to him. He's going to take that in for the touchdown.
Yep, just a sophomore, though. I mean, he's going to be a name to pay attention to the next couple of years. But you're right. You just got to put it on the target. Put it on the body. Give your receiver a chance to make a play.
And if you're Spring Hill, I mean, you almost have to throw it right here, right? I mean,
yeah. I mean, whatever you think your best play is, no matter the situation, down to distance, whatever you think your best play is in the playbook, you've got to go to it. You know you've got to go 10 yards, so more than likely it is going to be a pass, the way that your running game has really been stuffed for most of the night. 148 yards on 41 carries, so you're averaging less than 4 yards a tote. But here we go. Buckle up. Somebody's about to hoist a trophy.
Jackson Smith, he's done really well all night when he's rolled out of the pocket and been able to run with it. He's going to be in the shotgun. Smith will take the snap, rolls right. Going to look to throw. Back of the end zone, overthrows his intended target. Is there a penalty flag? No, they're going to say it's incomplete, and that's going to be the ball game. It is Rector winning their first state championship in school history as they win it by a final score of 22-16.
You've got all your receivers on that one side of the field. He just rolls to his right. And just not anywhere near his targets. And a tough way to end it. Spring Hill, who led this game 16-0. They had all the momentum, just could not hit his man near the corner of the end zone. And Rector celebrates a perfect season.
Well, as they celebrate, we'll take a break. When we come back, we will talk about who the MVP of this one is as you're watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
When you choose Conway Regional, you're choosing a healthcare partner rooted in your community. With 9 primary care locations in 5 counties, we believe in building lasting relationships centered on trust and personalized care. Let our family care for yours.
Vaping addicts you to nicotine and can prematurely age your lungs to those of a 70-year-old. Don't get lost in the fog. Learn more about the hazards of vaping at projectpreventar.org.
Give your family a once-in-a-lifetime experience at the Little Rock Zoo, at Arkansas's largest lantern festival. Glow wild at the Little Rock Zoo. After dark, bring your family to a radiant wonderland where imagination sparks. Discover 40 new lighted mystical creatures and returning favorites at Glow Wild, a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Southern Loft is a proud sponsor of Arkansas PBS. It is our mission to tell your story by adding color with our furniture. And that's why Southern Loft is a different kind of furniture store. For more information, go to mysouthernloft.com.
Do you have any idea what the book is worth?
Danielle Musselman here, host of Arkansas Treasures, where we share the wacky, weird, and wild collectibles and antiques from around our state and find out what they're worth.
So that adds up to a little bit of money.
Wow. Watch on Arkansas PBS, the PBS app, or on the Arkansas PBS website.
I said I was not going to say wow, but I did anyway.
A real-life mystery in Mulberry Springs.
Who is Sammy the Sloth?
My science teacher is a robot.
You've got to be kidding me. Troublemakers from another planet.
From another planet?
We're on the case.
Thank you, Mystery League, for solving this mystery.
During the past year, we've been traversing the natural state with our cinematic drone from lakes and rivers, waterfalls, scenic byways, mountains, swamps, overlooks, and towering rock formations. This unique documentation of all 4 seasons from all 4 corners of the state with an aerial cinematic perspective will give you, the viewer, an Arkansas adventure like never before, exploring Arkansas from above.
Download the PBS video app or watch online.
I think it's important for Arkansas PBS to have sports because it provides sports on a greater platform to the entire community. And it also gives people in various other communities an opportunity to see other schools and other athletes and to have a greater appreciation for not just their own community, but the sports that are available across the state of Arkansas. There are so many lessons that sports provides, and it's one of the reasons why it's so important to the next generation of athletes coming up.
For students, it's always more fun to include the arts when you're learning. I mean, just to have expression, to see different forms of entertainment, it always just makes it more fun. And when I heard that my mother was recording different sections that teachers were gonna see, I was excited for the students who will get to use it in their classroom.
Arkansas PBS is a place where everyone can see themselves, where everyone can find themselves, where everyone can be a part of something bigger than themselves.
Hi, this is Christopher Kimball on the set of Milk Street Television. Not-for-profit channels like Create are bound by a mission. That's to inform, educate, enlighten, and also enrich. So please support Create by also supporting your local public television station. Simply click the donate button at createtv.com for more information.
And that's about all there is to it.
I told you it's easy.
You see, it doesn't take so long.
And by the way, thank you.
This month on Arkansas PBS.
To think that our greed and our industrialization would blink this thing out.
We've got treasures that are haunting and maybe haunted.
I was terrified of this chair.
This is a good photograph of Lizzie Borden.
It was a cultural and musical phenomenon that pulsed through the nation's dance clubs. But not everyone was a fan.
Only on Arkansas PBS.
For students, it's always more fun to include the arts when you're learning. I mean, just to have expression, to see different forms of entertainment, it always just makes it more fun. And when I heard that my mother was recording different sections that teachers were gonna see, I was excited for the students who will get to use it in their classroom.
Arkansas PBS is a place where everyone can see themselves, where everyone can find themselves, where everyone can be a part of something bigger than themselves.
There are your 8-man football state champions, the Rector Cougars, as they win it 22-16 today at War Memorial Stadium. And there's your MVP. Brought to you by the Little Rock Zoo. That is your MVP, Drew Henderson, as he had a heck of a night tonight, Bobby. Passing, he was 4 of 8 for 22 yards, and then on the ground, 32 carries, 140 yards, and 2 touchdowns to claim tonight's MVP. Heck of a performance by Drew Henderson.
Yeah, just really did it all, and a gutsy performance on a night where the weather was atrocious. It still is atrocious as they're out there celebrating, but he found a way, the quarterback, on a night where it wasn't their best night offensively. Maybe their worst night offensively all season, but they found a way to get it done. They overcame so many miscues of their own doing. How many times they put the football on the ground because of a bad snap or a bad exchange in the backfield? They continued to gut it out. They played good defense, and Drew Henderson found a way to put himself in the end zone twice and get his team their first ever state championship.
Well, let's take a look at the highlights from this one, as really it was a lot of scoring in the first half, and you see right there, Spring Hill, they got rolling early in this one, and turnovers were a big thing for Rector throughout this ball game. 5 total turnovers, and Tipton was able to take that one in for the second score of the ball game. And then this big pass play took it all the way down to the 1-yard line, as they were able to get down there to the 1. And Spring Hill, they were trying to get a shutout before halftime, but Rector got in the end zone, and it was 16-8 at halftime. And there he is, Drew Henderson, just doing things with his legs all night long. There was a turnover on a 4th down play that really Rector was trying to get some momentum. Henderson takes it in for the second score of the ball game. Now here's a pass play, right side corner of the end zone. Final play of the game, and Rector, they are your 2023 8-man state champions as they win it 22-16. Bobby, final thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I mean, defenses were the story in this one. We thought it was going to be a shootout. We probably read too many articles, paid too much attention to the box score about how good these offenses are, how many points is traditionally scored in 8-man football. We didn't give these defenses enough credit. I really tip of the cap, not only to the defenses, the defensive linemen, the 2 defensive tackles for Rector were just home wreckers all game long. You're talking about 16 stops for a defensive lineman in a game's unheard of. So it's kudos to those guys up front, because they're the reason that Rector's taking home a championship in a typhoon.
Yeah, it is. Well, tomorrow we come back at noon, as you've got East Poinsett County and Bigelow in the 2A state finals. That'll be right here on Arkansas PBS tomorrow at noon, and then tomorrow night you've got the 6A game. That'll be at 6:30 tomorrow night right here, and that will be a great game as well as Little Rock Christian. They take on Greenwood here at War Memorial. Hopefully the rain is done after tonight. We've had enough rain throughout this game to last for the entire weekend, and so hopefully it will move out of here, and we will have good championship weather throughout the rest of the weekend. So, for Bobby Swafford, I'm RJ Honk. Your final in this one in the 8-man state championship game. Spring Hill, they lose to Rector 22-16. Until tomorrow at noon, you've been watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.